home here this evening. After 2 weeks on the road, 2 wins on the road. So getting back on your home field, always nice, but when you do it on the heels of 2 victories, even better.
It's been an odd year. The Gladiators at home 2-3. They've been much better on the road, obviously, last week. Last 2 weeks getting those 2 wins. Exciting night here at the Q. Obviously, after the Cavaliers season, it's Cavs night here. It should be a pretty raucous crowd, and we're excited to have the Glads back home.
A festive atmosphere, and the Gladiators will be facing a familiar opponent. You don't see teams 3 times in a year much in the sport of football, but this season, the Gladiators in Tampa Bay, this will be their 3rd meeting. The Gladiators have handled it well so far.
It's very odd not to see a team 3 times without one of them being a playoff game. And it's going to be tough. I mean, I go back to my days playing in the NFL. You see a team twice in terms of your conference, but this is a difficult challenge to beat a team 3 times. We'll see if they're up to the task.
No strangers out on this field, and Colin Taylor, he's been no stranger to some very hot play this season. He's a guy they knew was a good football player, but he's elevated his game to another level this season.
Can't say enough about how well Colin Taylor has played. He's got career numbers across the board. In fact, he does it all. I mean, the guy will go in and play a little jack linebacker if he has to from time to time, and the Glads are going to need a big game out of him tonight as well.
With Dominic Goodman out, no doubt Colin Taylor is going to need to really keep that game at a high level. Career highs in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. He'll run the ball. He'll play some defense. Anywhere he's needed, he chips in. So Colin Taylor certainly will be a factor for the Gladiators tonight. Now let's send it downstairs to field level. Kenny Rhoda is with Gladiators head coach Steve Tunn.
Thanks, guys. Coach, 5-5 going into that road trip. You get 2 wins, 7-5 coming into tonight. What was the key to those 2 victories?
I think a little bit of everything. Our defense definitely picked it up the last 2 games. We got a lot of stops, a lot of critical stops, too, when we needed it. And I think offensively, we took care of the ball. So we did a great job taking care of the ball and getting something on every possession. So we need to keep that going.
No Goody tonight. Who steps up and fills in for Goody?
They all do. I mean, Goody's such a great receiver, but T-Lou's in, Corey Payne gets a chance, but all 4 of them have to step up tonight.
And other injuries to overcome tonight. It is Cavaliers night, so it's apropos, right?
We have a lot, so we got to overcome it tonight. So,
Coach, thanks so much. Best of luck.
All right, thank you.
Guys, a lot of injuries for this team, and talking to Coach before the game, but guys have been stepping up all season long. They're hoping to make it 3 in a row tonight.
Gladiators looking to make it 3 in a row as they are 7-5 on the campaign. The Gladiators taking on the 5-6 Tampa Bay Storm. Let's get to the NovaCare inactive report ahead of tonight's contest. Gladiators and the Tampa Bay Storm out tonight for the Gladiators. Devin Dace, Terrence Sanders, Andy Cruz, Dominic Goodman. That's certainly a big one. Justin Hanna, Colby Way, Corey Howard, Tim Cheatwood, Chad Schofield, Jason Palmgren, Andre Thurman, Curtis Young. The NovaCare inactive report. And Gladiators head coach Steve Tunn just said the injuries have piled up. They'll need that next man up mentality. Dustin Fox, we've seen this team overcome adversity time and time again, and we've seen them find guys to plug the holes. What better time to insert Theron Lewis back into the lineup a couple of weeks ago, now especially with Dominic Goodman out?
Yeah, I mean, look, Theron Lewis is a guy who caught 100 balls last season for this team here in Quick Loans Arena for the Gladiators. So it's great to have him back in a familiar setting. We'll see if he can step up tonight. He had a couple of catches last week, but now he's going to be asked to do a lot more. You take a guy like Goody, who's been a multiple-time AFL Player of the Week player, and now let's see if T. Lou can get that that little end zone celebration he does, where he puts his arm out in the tee and puts it together. I hope to see a little bit of that tonight, and I'm looking forward to it, especially in these awesome uniforms. You can see the Cavaliers colors tonight on the Glads.
Well, Theron Lewis had 37 touchdown catches last year, over 1,500 yards, knows the quarterback Shane Austin well, knows Steve Tunn's offense very well. Yep. So anytime you can insert a guy like that back into your lineup, the transition should be pretty seamless.
There's a lot of players here that know him, too. He walks in, probably has the same locker in that locker room. The guys know him very well. He was a team leader on this team, so it's the perfect guy to ask to step up in a situation like this.
And, of course, he is in his 3rd game back in his 2nd stint as Gladiator. This is his return back to the Q. He re-debuted with the Gladiators on that road trip not long ago. Now we're getting ready for the kickoff here from the Q. The Gladiators in their wine and gold Cavs-themed jerseys on Cavs night. Adrian Trevino will be kicking it off from our right down to our left. And the return man for the Tampa Bay Storm will be Kendrick Ings down to our left there in white. The officials tonight, Bradley Brunet, Mike Moore, Mac Kukar, Tim McGowan, Jim Corpora. Bradley Brunet, the referee this evening. Trevino has it teed up down to our right. Ings down to our left to return. How about Kendrick Ings? 10 games in his AFL career. He's found the end zone at least once in every single one of those. We are underway here at the Q. Kickoff taken off the near netting, bobbled by Ings. Now he's got it, brings it up the near side, and may not escape the end zone as a slew of Gladiators knocked him into the sideboards here on the near side. 14:49 on the clock. We played 11 seconds here in the first quarter. No score between the Gladiators and Tampa Bay. We'll get to your Subway starting lineups. First up for the Tampa Bay offense, the starting quarterback Jason Boltis, the offensive line Jerian Moreland, Jeremy Schonbrunner, and Tyler Moore. As we continue rolling through the Tampa Bay offense, Boltis will be a key, obviously, as the quarterback. Ben Osai is the fullback. The wide receivers are T.T. Tolliver, Julius Gregory, and Kendrick Ings. 1st and 10 for Tampa Bay. They're going left to right. They're starting the drive on their own 3-yard line. Boltis a pass, and this one won't take off. A flag on the field, and you'd imagine this is going to be a false start call against Tampa Bay.
Offside, man, number 6. Half the distance, still first down.
Offsides against Tampa Bay. So, the motion man jumping the gun a little bit. And with that, played 30 seconds here at the Q, and it'll be 1st and 12 for Tampa Bay. Subway starting lineups, Gladiators defensively up front. It'll be Mike Alston, Randy Calling, William McGinnis on the line. The Mac linebackers, Anthony DeGreat. On the back end, in the secondary, Joe Finnessy, the Jack linebacker, Dominic Jones, Donnie Fletcher, Fred Shaw are the defensive backs. Pass out to the left side from Boltis, and this one is hauled in, taking up the far wall by Julius Gregory, and eventually he's taken down. That'll be enough for a Tampa Bay first down as we played over a minute in this one. No score. Boltis leads the AFL on interceptions thrown, even though he's having a nice year, so the Gladiators, without a doubt, will have to really get some pressure on him as Boltis on first down throws, and that one goes up and out of play. 2nd and 10 coming from the Tampa Bay 15.
Yeah, we were chatting about it before the game. Boltis has been sort of a journeyman at the quarterback position, been around the league for quite some time. Did play last year for Orlando, and this is obviously the best year he's having, but he's got to try and cut down on some of those interceptions. Obviously, last couple of weeks he's found the target there. Gregory, you just saw on that previous catch, he's a rookie, and he's had a pretty good start to his rookie campaign.
2 receivers on the right side of Boltis as it's 2nd down and 10. Tampa Bay on their own 15. A pass caught here on the near side and ultimately lugged ahead to around midfield by Emery Sammons, who wears number 6 for Tampa Bay. Very close to the first down marker. Looks like it's going to be 3rd and well under a yard at this point. So we'll see what Tampa Bay goes with here to get the short yardage needed for the first down. They're at their own 24 is where they spot it. No scores. We've got 12:48 to go here in the first quarter. Doug Plagans, Dustin Fox here with the 3 receivers left side. Boltis, quick pass to Sammons to the Gladiators 20, down inside the 15-yard line before he's taken down by Joe Finnessy. So more than enough for the Tampa Bay first down. Now they're knocking on the Gladiators' door.
It seems like Tampa Bay is picking up right where they left off last week, coming off that big win over Jacksonville. They've struggled at times this year, certainly from half to half. Will they have a good half of offense, a bad half of offense? Well, last week, the way they ended that game, they certainly have picked up right where they left off.
Picked up a victory over Jacksonville, a team they're battling with for positioning in the American Conference playoff race. 3 receivers right side, 1st and 10 for Tampa Bay at the Gladiators' 14-yard line. 2 straight completions to Sammons. Here's Boltis throwing for the end zone. That one too far for Emery Sammons, the intended target. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Tampa Bay Storm.
Pretty good coverage there by Donnie Fletcher in the back of that secondary, and of course there's only one place you can put that football, and that's right in the corner of the end zone. You want to try to put it between the defender and that backboard, and just a little bit too far.
Lawrence Samuels, the head coach of Tampa Bay, during his time at Tampa Bay has yet to beat the Gladiators. 0-4 against the Gladiators all time. 2 receivers right side. Boltis dropping back on 2nd and 10 from the Gladiators' 14. A toss toward the end zone again, but that one well out of play and incomplete. Boltis took a hit. There was a lot of pressure coming his way. Anthony DeGreat was right in there. And with that, 3rd down and 10 coming for the Tampa Bay Storm.
Got to give a lot of credit as well to the secondary as you take a look at the hit here from Boltis. In the back end, they switch things off. You play a lot of zone coverage. You have to pass off some of these receivers. They did a great job there. Boltis just didn't have anywhere to go with the football.
10:55 to go first quarter. No score. Now 3rd and 10 for Tampa Bay as they had some good momentum on this drive that seems to have stalled out for the time being. All the receivers loaded to the right. A quick pass caught by T.T. Tolliver at the 10. He'll sneak inside the 10-yard line, but not quite all the way down to the 5. Looks like he's forced into the boards by Donnie Fletcher and Fred Shaw, the Gladiators, right here around the 7-yard line or so. So it's a 4th down and 3 situation now for Tampa Bay. And it's Tampa Bay into the red zone. As far as their red zone offense goes, just 73%. That's just 10th out of the 12 teams in the Arena Football League in terms of red zone success. So we'll see if the Gladiators can slam the door shut here. 3 receivers left side, 1 man in the backfield. 4th down and 3 for Tampa Bay. We played about 5 minutes. Boltis is going to take off on his own. Will he get there? No, it doesn't look like he will. He should be short, and the Gladiators force an opening drive turnover on downs.
That's just as good as an interception, and turnovers are so hard to come by. That is a huge momentum shift for the Glads, and what a way to start the game for the defense.
No score. We played about 5 minutes first quarter. We'll come back with the Gladiators having the ball. This is Gladiators football presented by Unique Home Solutions on the Gladiators Radio Network. Welcome back to the Q. 9:55 on the clock here in the first quarter. No score between the Gladiators and the Tampa Bay Storm. Gladiators defense forced a Tampa Bay turnover on downs on the opening drive of the game. 3 receivers, right side, 1st and 10 for the Gladiators from their own 5. Shane Austin's going to go along on the first play, and he just missed Colin Taylor up the near sideline off his outstretched right hand and incomplete. 2nd down and 10 coming for the Gladiators back at their own 5. Subway starting lineups. Gladiators offense lines up like this as we prepare for 2nd down. The quarterback Shane Austin, the offensive line. C.J. Cobb, Kid O'Brien with P.K. Manley at center. As far as the fullback goes, it's Jeremy Richardson. The receivers are Theron Lewis, Amari Jackson, and Colin Taylor, who was targeted on that first Shane Austin pass. The game, 9-10 left here in the first. No score. Gladiators in Tampa Bay. 2nd and 10. Gladiators back at their own 5-yard line. 3 receivers to the right. Austin takes a look over the middle, and this one is caught by Taylor. He's taken down around the 21 or 22-yard line as the Gladiators pick up a 1st down. Taylor stopped at the 21. Austin with a nice completion to Taylor over the middle, who is wide open.
Taylor getting off to a fast start just as he did last week. Nice little sit-down route over the middle in that zone coverage. Just take a look at the Tampa Bay starting defense there, Doug.
Subway starting lineups. The defensive line, Brandon Cisse, Richard Kleber, Everett Dawkins, Dexter Jackson, the MAC linebacker. Defensive backfield, Rick J. Hill at Jack linebacker. The DBs are Randall Bird, Al Phillips, and Tim Shelley. Shane Austin drops back on 1st and 10, throws long for Theron Lewis, and it's underthrown. And is it picked off? No, they say it was bobbled and dropped by the Tampa Bay defensive back going down there for that one. And it was Al Phillips, who's among the league leaders in pass breakups, who was down there. And, well, the Gladiators dodge a real bullet on this one.
That's a great breakup by Phillips. And you mentioned one of the league leaders. He is the league leader, has 27 PBUs on the season so far. He's part of their version of the no-fly zone back there in the secondary. They've done a terrific job on the season, kind of locking down some of the opposing team's wide receivers.
2 receivers right side, 2nd and 10 for the Gladiators on their own 21. Austin a dump off over the middle to Kid O'Brien. We've got flags all over the field as O'Brien is taken down by Rick J. Hill, the Jack linebacker, around the Tampa Bay 24 or so, but this could be coming back, we'll see. O'Brien, the nice catch and run. Wouldn't have been enough for a 1st down.
Illegal defense.
So it's an automatic 1st down for the Gladiators as it was defended illegally. 7:30 to go here in the first quarter. No score between the Gladiators and Tampa Bay, but Gladiators get a little boost there. Shane Austin had a nice game last week with 6 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown, threw for 265 yards on 26 completions. 2 receivers on that right side of Shane Austin. Gladiators just past midfield at the Tampa Bay 24. Austin to Amari Jackson near side. Tries to swerve around defenders, but he's taken down by Brandon Cisse, the Tampa Bay defensive lineman. So not a substantial pickup there for Amari Jackson, who was trying to create some space for himself. Caught that one in the backfield, but didn't get much more than a yard or 2.
It's almost like they're trying to run a fake screen one way, and then Shane Austin comes back to his opposite side, and he gets Cobb out there. one of the big offensive linemen as a lead blocker, and you got to give Tampa Bay a lot of credit. They smothered that thing in a hurry.
Tampa Bay has a pretty solid defense. We'll get some of those numbers as we roll along here tonight. 6:40 left here in the first. No score between the Gladiators and Tampa Bay. 3 receivers left side. 2nd and 7 for the Gladiators. Austin caught up to, and he's going to have to take the sack here, which is probably a smart play. He had 3 defensive linemen all over him. He was finished off by Brandon Cisse, although contact was made by Richard Kleebert and then Everett Dawkins. So the whole defensive line for Tampa Bay getting through, and Austin dropped back to midfield. It'll be 3rd and 11.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go. Richard Kleebert was in there in a hurry, and then he just tries to escape and gets a couple yards back, almost to the line of scrimmage, the original line of scrimmage. But that's a tough one right there. Kleebert, got to give him a lot of credit for getting in there early.
Cisse 2 sacks on the year. It's 3rd and 11 for the Gladiators now at midfield. 3 receivers on the right side. Gladiators going right to left. Austin throws, and it's off the defender Phillips, and it bounces out of play the 2nd time on this drive. And I'm sure he may hear about this from the Tampa Bay defensive coordinator, but the 2nd time on this drive that you could say he should have picked the ball off.
Yeah, one of my college coaches would call this a dropped interception. Even though he's going to get credit as a PBU, a pass breakup, that's a dropped interception.
4th down and 11. So Shane Austin had gone back-to-back games without throwing an interception, and now twice on this drive, Al Phillips has taken good routes to balls and nearly come away with an interception. Shane Austin, though, still keeping the drive alive. 4th down and 11, though. They have to come with 11 yards here. Austin dropping back, hit as he throws, goes long, and it's going to be incomplete. Again, off the hands of the defensive back that time, getting down there and breaking things up. It was Randall Burden, but again, it was a ball that could have been picked off. Maybe a good thing for Tampa Bay that he didn't pick it off on that one, because he would have been back in the end zone. Tampa Bay going to take over at midfield. 5:01 left in the first. No score. Gladiators in Tampa Bay. Each team coming up empty on their first drive. This is the Gladiators Football Network. Welcome back. 5:01 left, first quarter, no score. Tampa Bay taking over on downs. Folks, get Gladiators score updates, special promotions, and breaking news sent directly to your phone. Text Gladiators to 720-720. Text message and data rates may apply. Gladiators football is presented by Unique Home Solution. So 5:01 left here in the first, and each team has turned it over on downs so far in this one. A defensive struggle, Dustin, early on in this game.
It's not what I expected after what you saw some of these teams do last week. The Glads put up a ton of points in their big win over New Orleans, 51 points, and obviously Tampa Bay had 60 last week, so it's shocking to see no points on the board.
Boltis on first down, throws left, and this one is hauled in by Julius Gregory. It'll be more than enough for a Tampa Bay first down as he hauls it down to the 9-yard line up that left side. Boltis in rhythm there, hit the receiver Gregory right in stride. It'll be 1st and goal from the 9 for Tampa Bay with 4:30 left here in the first, and this game's still not up scoreless.
Yeah, that Julius Gregory right there, number 2, you get a chance to see 2 catches early in this game. He's been a key reason why Tampa Bay's had some success. The last 3 weeks alone, 10 touchdown receptions from Gregory.
3 receivers right side. Boltis throws. Emery Salmons around the 5-yard line, smothered by Dominic Jones, and taken down a pickup of about 4 on the play. And Tampa Bay getting some good production out of young receivers, Ings, Gregory, guys that you mentioned, and you wonder if they feed off a guy like T.T. Tolliver, who may know this game better than just about anybody out there on the field, as he's been around for more than a decade.
I'm sure that when you're a young player and you come into this league, you got to learn how to play in the Arena Football League. It's different than outdoor college football as a rookie, and you have a guy like Tolliver, as you mentioned, Doug, he's been around for a decade, and he's been very productive, still productive 10 years in. And, yeah, I'm sure that's a big part of it. And boy, Glads need to come up with a big stop here.
Second and goal from the 4, Boltis to the end zone, and he missed his man, Gregory. That's an incomplete pass. Third down and goal from the 4 with 3:22 left here in the first. And we talk about it time and time again. Sometimes when you get into the red zone, that playbook shrinks a little bit. You don't have the same options as you do from maybe 15, 20, 25 yards out.
And a lot of times teams get inside the 5 or so, and they decide maybe they'll run a couple of plays just to try and keep the defense on their heels. Well, the fullback for Tampa, he doesn't run the football very much.
Not typically. He's a 4th offensive lineman, essentially.
He's a big boy.
3 receivers left side for Boltis. Third goal from the 4. Pass to the end zone, hauled in by Gregory, who was able to catch that one in traffic. A touchdown for Tampa Bay. And they're the first team to score in this one. 6-0 Storm, as Gregory was able to reach around Fred Shaw there and make the play.
Well, you knew you couldn't keep Tampa Bay out of the end zone forever, but it is surprising, and you should give the defense of Cleveland a lot of credit here. 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter, and that's the first score of the game.
On for the extra point try, it's Craig Peterson. Down to our right, they snap the hold, and the kick is good. So it's 7-0 Tampa Bay. 2:07 left here in the first quarter. So the Gladiators try and even it up when we return. Folks, this is Gladiators Football presented by Unique Home Solutions on the Gladiators Football Network. Welcome back. 2:07 left first quarter. Tampa Bay on the board with a 7-0 lead. The Gladiators would like to thank University Hospitals, Elyria Medical Center, Center of Orthopedics, Network Radiology, NEO Spine and Sport, NovaCare, the Vision Development Team, Team Physician Dr. Scott Singer, and Team Dentist Dr. Todd Russell for being the official medical team of the Cleveland Gladiators. So each team turned it over on downs on their first offensive try. Julius Gregory had his 17th receiving touchdown of the year on the second Tampa Bay drive. So now essentially right back to where we started after neither team was able to score on their first drive. Tampa Bay a 4-play, 25-yard drive that took 2:09 off the clock, and it was a drive that started after a Gladiators turnover on downs. Here's the kickoff from Peterson all the way down to our right, Amari Jackson. We'll bring it out of the end zone, made a grab on the return, and now he's got one man to beat. He's slowed down and then caught up to around the 20-yard line and ultimately finished off by Julius Forte. And on special teams for Tampa Bay, Jackson had one man to beat who just got a piece of him, enough to slow him down that allowed the other Tampa Bay special teamers to catch up.
Yeah, that was Kendrick Ings who gets down there, one of the wide receivers, young wide receivers on this team, who almost gets him down. Oh, actually, I apologize. It was the kicker, Craig Peterson, who, boy, he'll be taking a little bit of a ripping from his teammates there. Amari Jackson, who's done a pretty good job on the year. 18.1 yard average on the season, but can't let a kicker get you on the ground.
Broke the tackle.
He did, but he slowed him up just enough to get him on the ground.
So 1:55 on the clock, first quarter, 7-0 Tampa Bay over the Gladiators. And with that, we will step aside. Gladiators on offense when we return. Folks, the Gladiators down by 7. This is Gladiators Football presented by Unique Home Solutions right here on the Gladiators Football Network. Welcome back. 1:55 to go here in the first quarter. 7-0 the Tampa Bay Storm leading the Cleveland Gladiators. The Gladiators 7-5, 2 straight wins, coming off a win in New Orleans last week. Tampa Bay sitting at 5-6, trying to battle to get back into that American Conference playoff picture, coming off a win Against Jacksonville last week, funny thing about Tampa Bay, they haven't won back-to-back games all season. They also have only lost back-to-back games one time. Shane Austin drops back on first down and completes one to the right side just past the sticks to Amari Jackson with 93 seconds to go in the first quarter. 7-0 Tampa Bay on top, and the Gladiators getting down near the Tampa Bay 20-yard line, maybe inside that 20-yard line.
That's a beautiful timing route by Amari Jackson on the outside. Just pushes Burden off just enough on an out route right to the sticks. And I think that's exactly what Shane Austin needs. He looked a little bit uncomfortable on that last drive. That could probably build some confidence getting off to that quick start.
1st and 10 from the Tampa Bay 20. Here's Austin throwing near side, and Theron Lewis not able to hang on to it, reach for it, but the ball just came away from him, and we're inside a minute to go here in the first quarter. To 2nd down and 10 we go for the Gladiators. They're at the Tampa Bay 20-yard line going right to left.
Well, that ball is put right where Theron Lewis has to have it, right in his hands. And Theron Lewis, we've seen him for years. He's got terrific hands. That's a miscue on his part. He'd like to have that one back, I'm sure.
Started the season with the LA Kiss, and here he is in his 3rd game back with the Gladiators. 3 receivers left side, and Austin rolling right, looks for an option, throws, and it's off the hands of Amari Jackson and incomplete. A little behind Amari Jackson, who almost made a heck of a play to tip it back to himself.
Got to put that one on him. Amari Jackson has just enough distance between himself and the defensive back. He's coming across. I know it's a difficult throw on the run, but that's what Shane Austin does. He's a very mobile quarterback, and he's got to complete that pass. If he puts that about a yard or so in front of Amari Jackson, that's 6.
So Amari Jackson had that go off his outstretched right hand. It's incomplete. 3rd and 10 for the Gladiators from the Tampa Bay 20, and that'll do it for quarter number 1 from right here at the Q. 7-0 Tampa Bay leads after a low-scoring opening quarter play from the Q. Doug Plagans, Dustin Fox, Kenny Rhoda downstairs. We'll be right back with more. This is Gladiators Football presented by Unique Home Solutions on the Gladiators Football Network. Welcome back. Just about ready to start the second quarter here at the Q. 7-0 Tampa Bay on top of the Gladiators. 3rd and 10 for the Gladiators from the Tampa Bay 20. Coming up, Medical Mutual stats after one quarter. First downs, 4-3 for Tampa Bay. Total yards, 68-26 for Tampa Bay. Gladiators haven't been penalized. 2 penalties against Tampa Bay so far. Let's go down to field level for the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Kenny Rhoda. How's it look down there?
Well, guys, really, when you think about it, a drop pass, some bad throws. The line hasn't protected well, and they're only down 7-0, and they're on pace if they score here to tie it up. So let's see if they can get it going here in the second quarter.
Gladiators not in a bad position at all if they can score here. Austin to the left side, and Theron Lewis makes the grab in traffic, forced into the far boards by Al Phillips, who's shocked that Lewis was able to hang on to that football. It'll be 1st down and goal for the Gladiators.
That is just so typical Theron Lewis. We've seen him so many times over the years. He'll drop an easy one, and then he'll come back and make a terrific catch like that. That's a difficult ball, and he's able to, look like it went off the boards. He's still able to haul it in and get the Glads 1st and goal inside the 5.
And working heavily against him so far in this one, it's been Al Phillips, who's one of the best defensive backs in the Arena Football League. And as I said right there, Phillips was in some disbelief that Lewis was able to hang on to that football with the coverage. 14-15 left here in the second as we're just underway. And now we've got a fumble on the exchange, and it looks like Tampa Bay's got it. So the snap goes awry for the Gladiators, and they turn it over in one of the worst places to turn it over, in the red zone. Falling on it for Tampa Bay was Richard Klebert, the nose tackle.
Well, that is just a killer for Cleveland. The good news here, if there is any silver lining, is that your defense has played pretty well, and now they're at least pinned back somewhat inside the 5-yard line. But boy, that's a killer down there.
If you're Tampa Bay on the road, you'll take the football anywhere on the field you can get it.
There's no question, but that's one you got to have back. You can't. I mean, the center quarterback exchange is just, it's a play. It's a thoughtless part of the play, but you sometimes take it for granted.
And the Gladiators have had some injuries that have shuffled things around on the offensive line over the course of the year. And PK Manley, been the center for the last few games, but still relatively new, working with Shane Austin. And Dustin, just from your experiences, how much time can it take sometimes for a center and a quarterback to really get that relationship to the point where, as you said, it can be totally thoughtless and it's just an emotion that is an instinct?
A lot of times it could take a whole year for these guys to go through it. Heck, I go back and look at the Cleveland Browns last season. They lose Alex Mack mid-season, and it took a lot of time to get a new guy in there to shuffle through, and it can really affect the team in a negative way.
So Tampa Bay set to take over. Looks like a penalty has bumped them back a couple of yards. So it'll be 1st and 12 for Tampa Bay from their own 2. We've gone about 2 minutes here in the second quarter. Tampa Bay in their white jerseys, blue pants, blue helmets, going right to left. Boltis drops back in the end zone, has to throw it long, and Gregory is all alone, and somehow he drops the football.
That's a big break, Doug, because the Glads just had a breakdown in the coverage. I think Dominic Jones and Shaw on the outside, as they're dapping each other up, coming back to the huddle here, they're on a different page. Someone zigged and someone zagged, and
it couldn't have been easier to catch. It was lofted so gently into the air.
He just took his eyes off it.
All Gregory has to do is hold the ball, and even if he stops right there, he's gained over half of the field's distance.
Yeah, sometimes those are the hardest ones to come down with. It probably seemed like it hung up in the air forever for Gregory.
3 receivers left side. Boltis out of the end zone, throws Gregory in traffic. That time makes the catch despite being drilled by Fred Shaw and Joe Finnessy.
Amazing. Makes that one in traffic between 3 guys. Can't catch one that hangs up in the air and it's wide open to him.
So 3rd and 6 from the Tampa Bay 8-yard line. They get a little bit of separation from the end zone. So Boltis has a little more room to work with now, but still a 3rd down situation for Tampa Bay, who comes into this one 5th in the league on 3rd down, 49.4%. 2 receivers right side. Boltis with time, he throws long, and this one is completed. A substantial pickup as Kendrick Ings makes a sliding catch down inside the 5-yard line for the Storm, and looks like a good spot for Tampa Bay. He's going to put the ball at the 2-yard line. So Ings picking up his teammate Gregory, who dropped that long pass earlier in the drive, and now suddenly Tampa Bay 2 yards from putting 6 more on the board. I think they counted. I think they gave him the slide there.
Yeah, I don't think he was touched, and so they're going to count that as a touchdown. What a throw by Boltis. We'll come back and talk about it after the PAT, but that's a terrific throw.
So a touchdown for Tampa Bay, and Peterson able to boot it through. So Ings caught it, slid into the end zone. As you pointed out, wasn't touched, so it's a Tampa Bay touchdown. They had the extra point, 14-0 Storm, 10:53 left here in the second. This is Gladiators football presented by Unique Home Solutions right here in the Gladiators. 10:53 left here in the second, 14-0 Tampa Bay. They didn't score on their first drive. Now they've scored on back-to-back drives, and on that last Tampa Bay drive, couple of breakdowns in the Gladiators secondary led to nearly 2 big plays. There was the one that Gregory dropped, but then the Ings touchdown.
Yeah, Kendrick Ings is going to be able to get right behind a couple of Gladiators defenders, including Dominic Jones, who comes from his backside cornerback position, and he lofts this football right over top of 2 defensive backs of Cleveland. You can't put that in any better of a spot, and great concentration. After you saw the lack of concentration 2 plays prior where Gregory drops what may have been another touchdown, they're able to come back 2 plays later, see the scoring drive, 3 plays, 46 yards, and a $135.
So Tampa Bay taking a 14-0 lead. Boltis is 9 of 14, 114 yards, 2 touchdowns. His counterpart for the Gladiators, Shane Austin, so far in this one, 4 of 10, 46 yards. He's been sacked, and there was that fumble on the snap a little bit ago as well. Off the in netting, and now it's Amari Jackson on the return out of the end zone, making nothing into something up the left side, and he's taken into the boards by Ings.
How about that? Kendrick Ings just has the touchdown reception, and he comes down on a kickoff coverage team with great effort to get Amari Jackson out of this. Now, a little lack of concentration by Jackson there off the netting there in the end zone. Lucky to get out, but then shows some versatility as he breaks away from about 4 potential tacklers. And then you see Kendrick Ings, the guy who just scored the touchdown play, have great effort at the end to potentially save a touchdown for Cleveland.
And he's factored in on kickoff coverages a couple of times here, stopping what could have been touchdowns for Amari Jackson on returns. 3 receivers right side, a pass to Colin Taylor, and he'll scoot across the 20-yard line, a pickup of maybe a yard or two there on 1st and 10. The Gladiators started the drive on their own 21. They'll go left to right. 10 minutes left here in the second. The first 2 Gladiators possessions, this is their 3rd possession. First 2 Gladiators possessions, first one ended on downs at midfield. The last one ended on a fumble lost at the Tampa Bay 4-yard line.
You get the sense here, Doug, that this possession could be critical. You hate to say this early in the game that they have to score, but, Doug, they've got to score.
Flags in the air before this one can take off, and almost in arena football, you almost have to score on every drive.
11, offense, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
So the Gladiators will back up a little bit after a false start. 9:39 to go here in the second. 14-0 Tampa Bay. Kenny Rhoda at field level.
Hey guys, right before that kickoff, assistant coach and defensive coordinator Ron James called every player out onto the field in a huddle. He said, stop playing scared. Let's play to win the game. See if they can pick it up.
So Ron James trying to light a fire under the Gladiators here. Early in the second quarter, Shane Austin throwing over the middle. It's caught by Theron Lewis, and he's able to break a tackle, and then inside the 10-yard line. Blows a tire, taken down, but a good pickup there. Rick J. Hill caught up to him to finish him off. So now you mentioned how important this Gladiators drive is. Now it's 1st and goal from the 9.
And Doug, this is where you talk about the continuity of Theron Lewis being comfortable in a system with the quarterback he's played with before. I think that was a play where he was able to feel out the zone coverage and able to sit down. And as soon as Shane Austin saw him sit down, he delivered the football in time. And the Gladiators are cooking here inside the 10-yard line.
8:44 to go in the second. Gladiators down 14. They need to score. 3 receivers right side. On 1st and goal, Austin to the end zone. Caught for a touchdown. Amari Jackson. And the Gladiators are on the board. A 9-yard touchdown pass from Shane Austin to Amari Jackson. And the Gladiators needed exactly that.
Pretty easy working on one of the league's best defensive backs there, and Al Phillips. He's looking for some help. He didn't get it. The Glads get a much needed touchdown as they were struggling offensively in this first half, and finally there get something going.
Trevino on for the extra point. Low snap. Deeker gets it down, though, and it's a good kick from Trevino. 7:52 left here in the second. 14-7. It's Tampa Bay on top of the Gladiators. We'll see if the Gladiators defense can stand tall when we come back. This is Gladiators football presented by Unique Home Solutions on the Gladiators Football Network.
Back here at Quicken Loans Arena on Cavaliers night, the Gladiators trailing Tampa Bay 14-7. They finally get on the board. I'm with quarterback Shane Austin. Shane, you guys struggled the first couple of possessions. What wasn't going right there?
It's just us. I mean, it's mental errors, the little mistakes here and there. I mean, we had the clock running down to 2 seconds, and we had a rush, so we had a fumble snap. So it's just mental things. If we start executing, we'll be fine.
And take me through that touchdown play there. Obviously, good execution. What was the call, and what'd you see?
Right, it was just a lot better execution offensively. The line was blocking great. We had great route running, people getting open, and I mean, that's what it's going to take. So everybody doing their job to the entire game. And
I saw Coach James out there give you guys a pep talk. It looks like it got through to some players.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's just trying to get us fired up. It seemed like some guys, kind of we have a slow start, so we need to get things going right away and start turning it around.
All right, best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Guys, back up to you.
Thanks very much, Kenny. Kenny wrote it downstairs with the Gladiators quarterback Shane Austin there. Doug Plagens up here with Dustin Fox as Adrian Trevino gets set to kick it away. And now, always interesting in the tempo and flow of an arena football game, the pressure that Gladiators touchdown now puts it on Tampa Bay. It's suddenly now the team with the lead is the team that's under pressure.
Interesting to hear Shane Austin talk about the slow start coming out flat. And, the record sort of is indicative
wild
of
bounce
that.
here.
Wild bounce. But you think about the record, 2-3 at home. You wonder if maybe they're too anxious, too hyped up when they come out in some of these home games this season because they're in front of their home fans and they're getting excited with the music they're playing and everything, and somehow you come out and you're a little bit flat. It's interesting to hear him say that, and then you look at the record, maybe there's something to it.
Tampa Bay, they had some drops early on in this one as well, so maybe some nerves on their side too.
Sure.
And Maybe we'll see things start to settle down for the Gladiators as they get that first 7 on the board. We played half of the second quarter, 14-7 Tampa Bay. And as I mentioned, that Gladiators touchdown put some pressure on this Tampa Bay offense now. With 2 receivers lined up to the left, Boltus drops back, looks for an opening. He's going to take off himself, and he's got a lane. He'll have it up for the first down as Dominic Jones makes him pay a price over on the far boards. Took him hard into the wall, and however, first down for Tampa Bay, but again, Dominic Jones made him feel it.
And DJ's never going to let the quarterback get outside the pocket and try and pick up some yards without at least taking a pretty good shot. Dominic Jones comes from his safety spot, and right as he gets into the wall, it just gives him a little extra something to make him feel it.
6:49 left here in the second. 14-7 Tampa Bay, 1st and 10 for the Storm. They're going right to left, and they have it at their own 14-yard line. 2 receivers left side, Ings in motion. Boltus gets a pass off, a wide open TT Tolliver up the right side. Will be taken into the boards around the 10-yard line. Donnie Fletcher angled him to the boards, but it was Tolliver who uses some of those veteran smarts to find a seam and pick up some yards after the catch.
And I think the Gladiators secondary is giving a little bit too much respect to Ings, who got behind him for that last touchdown. Is now they're playing off a little bit too far, and they allowed for some of the underneath stuff to be completed. And there you see Tolliver.
So 1st and goal from the 10 now is Tampa Bay right on the outer edge of that red zone. 3 receivers left side, Tolliver in motion. Boltus to the end zone, Tolliver open, he has it, touchdown Tampa Bay. You could see that one coming before the ball was even out of the hands of Boltus.
Well, that's a mismatch. You got a safety in Dominic Jones coming up here against one of the more talented receivers in the entire league, and TT Tolliver. Man-to-man coverage, that's pretty much pitch and catch. Tolliver's going to catch that one all day, and give credit for Burton's for putting it on him. Or Boltus, excuse me.
Boltus has made some nice throws so far in this game, and that was another one of those with 5:28 left here in the second. 20-7 Storm, and Craig Peterson on for the extra point try to attempt to make it 21-7. A low snap, but they do get it down. The kick is up, and it is through. So 21-7 Tampa Bay, 5:17 left here in the second, and with that we will step aside. Gladiators on offense again when we return. Gladiators football presented by Unique Home Solutions on the Gladiators Football Network. 5:17 left here in the second. 21-7 Tampa Bay with the lead. They're about to kick it off here at the Q. Enroll in the Monsters Hockey Club, the exclusive club for Monsters season ticket holders. Guarantee the best seats, the best price. Take advantage of member year-round benefits. Sign up today. Get 2 premium seats to a Gladiators football game. For more information, 216-420-0000 or visit LakeErieMonsters.com. Good crowd here at the Q once again, and the Gladiators up at the top of the Arena Football League in attendance. And I want to thank everybody who's been out to a Gladiators game this season. If you haven't been to one, still plenty of chances to get out here. The Gladiators do finish out the regular season with 3 consecutive home games. Long kickoff, and near netting, and Amari Jackson has it. He's had some success on the returns tonight. He's got a lane up the left side, cuts back to the middle of the field, still on his feet, and this time they won't slow him down up the left side to the 10, to the 5. He leans. Does he have it? We wait for the signal. And it looks like he hit the sideboards inside the 5-yard line, inside the 1-yard line. So the Gladiators looking at 1st and goal from the 1. Amari Jackson has been close to breaking away for one a couple of times tonight. That time he got as close as you can get without scoring a touchdown.
Wow, you got to give us this one official. Come on, man. The effort of Amari Jackson to get down the field, and yeah, he does. He gets out right on that board, right about the 1-yard line. It's a great call. Amari Jackson just gets up the middle of the field. How many tackles does he make these guys miss, and his ability to change direction on a dime? Give him a lot of credit. He's had a terrific night returning the football, and we get a chance to see the in-house replay here. Man, he gets so close to getting in the end zone.
And it looks like the red flag on the field. The Gladiators,
no, they're not going to win this challenge.
Going to challenge this one.
1-yard line.
So we'll wait and see. Amari Jackson was a former member of the Tampa Bay Storm in his Arena football career. He's native of Sarasota, Florida, not too far from Tampa. So, you know, he comes out for these games looking to get a victory.
It's like he was anchoring the 4x100 meter relay team right there with that speed. My goodness.
And again, it's even more impressive that he's able to break all the tackles he does with the size that he has. He's a pretty big target out there, but he's able to dodge the tacklers, and he created a heck of a return there down to the sidelines. Kenny Rhoda, how'd it look from your perspective?
Well, guys, I was looking up at the Humongatron for the replay, and there's that yellow stripe that's on the sideboard that equals the goal line, and it looked like, as I was looking up on the Humongatron, it looked like that the ball crossed that yellow stripe on the sideboard as he was being hit. So it's going to be real interesting to see as they go and look at this instant replay as to whether or not they'll give him this. I think he got it across the yellow stripe on the sideboard.
Well, that's interesting to hear Kenny's perspective down from field level, because up top at the angle we have, it looks like he does go out about the one, but again, it depends on where that football's at, and they, of course, have a great view of all the angles down there at the replay booth to take a look.
Well, Adrian Trevino is warming up in case he kicks an extra point. We have a verdict.
The 1 yard line was confirmed. The left hip was in contact with the wall, with the ball at the 1 yard line. First down.
So there you have it, the final ruling from the on-field officiating crew after further review. The Gladiators don't win the challenge. However, Gladiators football 1 yard from the goal line. First and goal. So if you're the Gladiators, number one key, you
get the quarterback center exchange down here.
Well, there's that, and you don't want to take a penalty and back yourselves up here at all.
But I'm just thinking about the last time they were down here, they had that fumbled snap.
Colin Taylor in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Jeremy Richardson, and he's not going to get there, but there's a flag on the field. He was stopped short. And now we'll see what the ruling at field level is.
Offsides, number 8, defense. The second neutral zone. Half the distance. First down.
So you had Rick J. Hill, the Jack linebacker, trying to get in there because he knew there was going to be a run up the middle, or at least he was anticipating a run up the middle, and maybe jumped the gun a little bit there. So 4:28 left here in the second. Tampa Bay by 14. Gladiators trying to make that margin slimmer here. As Austin plows through the pile, and it looks like he's got the distance. Touchdown Gladiators. Shane Austin takes it himself from 1 yard out, and the Gladiators have made it an 8-point ball game.
I like that call, assuming you get the quarterback center exchange down, but just allow Shane Austin to run behind his big horses up front, push himself into the end zone. You don't risk an interception by throwing it down here. You don't risk a fumble by handing it off to a big guy who's not used to running the rock. It's a conservative call, and it pays off for the Glads.
And you get the job done in a hurry, and now the Gladiators trying to make it a 7-point ball game if Trevino can drill the extra point. Deeker gets the snap down. The kick is up and through. 3:32 left here in the second. 21-14 Tampa Bay out in front. Willie McGinnis handling the long snapping duties. Dominic Goodman has been known to handle that role quite a bit, but with Goodman out of the lineup, McGinnis doing the long snapping here in this one. And Shane Austin, 6th rushing touchdown of the campaign. Capped off that last drive, and now it's Tampa Bay set to take over on offense once again. Dominic Goodman, the reigning Arena Football League Player of the Week. He had 13 catches last week, but he's not in the Gladiators lineup due to an injury this evening. As you see some of what Goodman has been able to do this season. Last week he had 13 catches, 128 yards, a couple of touchdowns, and again he was the AFL MVP for Week 12. So Dominic Goodman out of the lineup, but we've seen the other receivers chip in here. Kenny Rhoda, who do you have for us?
Kit O'Brien with me here. Kit, the line of scrimmage down there at the goal line. Keegan getting that touchdown. You guys seem to be picking up the intensity and blocking better as this game has progressed.
Yeah, we kind of came out a little bit slow out of the gates. I mean, that was our number one thing. We wanted to come out with a lot of intensity and establish the line of scrimmage right off the bat. But we got into a rhythm after the first 2 series. It's unlike us to even give up a sack, so I'm really upset about it, but we're going to lock it down. You saw back over here on the 1 yard line, we were able to punch it in, especially on the QB sneak. So we're picking it up, and we're about to start playing a lot more physical.
All right, good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you very much.
Guys, back up to you.
Thanks very much, Kenny. That was Kenny Rhoda with offensive lineman Kit O'Brien. And now it's Trevino with the ball teed up down to our left. He'll kick it off down to our right, where Ings is ready to return. Ings with a touchdown in this one, so that means 11 career AFL games for Ings. Here's a onside kick try, a bouncing ball, and Tampa Bay seems to have it at the 10-yard line. Getting back to Ings, 11 career AFL games, and now he's found the end zone at least once in every single one of those, so we've seen him chip in quite a bit tonight. Burden got on it for Tampa Bay. Not a bad call.
You and I,
gutsy call, but not a bad call.
Doug, you and I talk about this all the time. The surprise onside kick and how effective it can be from time to time when a team's not prepared for it, especially early in the game. I thought it was a really good kick by Trevino, and just so close to recovering it. Colin Taylor, I don't think he was ready for the bounce. It bounced almost into his lap.
That was a lively football.
It was a lively football. That's a good way to put it.
3 receivers right side. Boltis on first and goal from the 10. Completes one to Ings up the right side. Dominic Jones put him into the board short of the end zone. But a substantial pickup on first down for the Storm. 2:49 left here in the second. Tampa Bay trying to make it a 2-score game once again. They have it down at the 2-yard line. Second and goal from the 2. Boltis has now completed 5 straight passes for 92 yards and a touchdown for Tampa Bay. 2.5 minutes on the clock here in the second quarter. Remember, Tampa Bay got the ball to start the ball game, so time to start thinking about how things are going to play out for the start of the second half. Boltis rolls right, looks for a lane, and he chucks this one out of play. 2:09 left here in the second, and this is an interesting situation because we've already talked about how Ben Osai, the fullback for Tampa Bay, hasn't had his number called to carry the ball. And when he stays on the field, it makes you wonder, will they just keep throwing it?
Keep an eye on T.T. Tolliver here. Number 1 is going to be in the slot. Excuse me, he's going to be on the outside. He's not matched up with Dominic Jones this time.
3 receivers left side. Boltis will pass, floats into the end zone, and it's incomplete off the hand, it appeared, of Gregory, and pulled in by the man in the stripe, Polo, down in the corner. So an incomplete pass, 4th and goal now from the 2-yard line. Now, where will Tampa Bay go with this one?
I'd go to Old Faithful.
A critical situation.
Your most capable and veteran receiver is Tolliver. I think we got a timeout on the field here, but again, if I'm Cleveland and I'm scheming this thing up from a defensive standpoint, I'm not worried about the run. How can you be? Now, maybe you're worried more about a quarterback scramble for a touchdown, but the design quarterback run here, I just don't think it's going to happen. Now, watch us be wrong.
Wouldn't be the first time.
That's right. That's right.
1:17 left here in the second as we have some 4th down numbers. Each team 0 for 1 so far in the game. On 4th down, we've seen each team turn it over on downs. It's on each team's opening drive. Looks like all 3 receivers are going to be loaded onto that left side to start here. Osai in the backfield. 4th and goal from the 2 for Tampa Bay. Tolliver in motion. And Boltis looks left, and there's going to be a flag. And now we'll wait and see. 1:15 left here in the second.
Full start, 17 offense, 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
So now Tampa Bay backing up a little bit. 4th and goal from the 7. And you saw they were about to pass the ball, so they're running a passing play. Does backing up 5 yards maybe even help them a little bit?
Potentially. I think when you get inside the 5, and especially if you're not going to run the football, a couple of extra yards can help you because you now extend yourself out. You have a 10-yard window there in the end zone. And wow, looks like they are.
The kicking unit's coming onto the field. So they're going to try and get the points here.
It's an interesting call.
Try and make it a 10-point ball game. And now there is a timeout called on the field. So the Gladiators down to one timeout. There's 1:17 left here in the second. So Tampa Bay, they figure they've got a 7-point lead. They want to try and make it a 2-score lead. They feel good about how their defense has played so far in this one. Craig Peterson on the field for the try. The hold will be at the 14-yard line. A 22-yard field goal try for Peterson. 21-14, Tampa Bay is the score with 1:17 left here in the second. The hold is a good one. The kick is up, and it looks like it's good, and it is. 24-14, Tampa Bay with 1:11 left here in the second. When a field goal works out for you, it looks like a good call. When you miss the field goal, sometimes it's a questionable call.
Well, it's still interesting, though, because the Glads are going to get the football here back, and they'll get the ball to start the second half, too. So they've got an opportunity here to gain back the lead. If all they have to do is just maintain their serve, so to speak, in terms of scoring here. Don't allow too much time on the clock for Tampa Bay. Take the ball to start the second half and then go down and get a touchdown.
1:11 left here in the second, 24-14. Tampa Bay out in front, folks. The Gladiators battle Orlando on Saturday, July 18th at 7. First 7,500 fans get a rally towel, courtesy of West Coast Chill. Stick around after the game for a post-game concert featuring classic rock band 38 Special. For tickets, 216-420-2222. Visit clevelandgladiators.com or any Northern Ohio discount drug mart. Gladiators football is presented by Unique Home Solutions. Downstairs to Kenny Rhoda.
Just curious, Dustin, from your years of playing college and professional, first and goal, second and goal from the one, you hold the offense to a field goal. That feels like a win for the defense, doesn't it?
Well, go back to 2002 when our motto was bend but don't break.
Yeah.
You make teams kick field goals, and all of a sudden you build a little bit of confidence, especially in this game. A field goal, that's a win. That's a stop. That's almost like a turnover in that situation. That's why I think the Glads have to be having some momentum here. And if they're able to go down and score a touchdown before halftime, make it 21-24, getting that football could be huge in the second half.
Here's the kickoff from Peterson, taken down to our left by Amari Jackson, who's had success in the return game tonight. Up the near side, and he's angled to the boards around the 17-yard line. So Amari Jackson still picking up some good yardage out of the end zone. Now the Gladiators' home schedule here in this middle portion of the summer, somewhat light. You have tonight's game, and then you have that game on July 18th. It's a 6 o'clock game, so there's that. But then we mentioned as you get into August, Gladiators with a home-heavy end of the regular season. Folks, will step aside. 1-minute warning here at the Q. 24-14, Tampa Bay with Gladiators taking over on offense. Gladiators football presented by Unique Home Solutions on the Gladiators Football Network. Welcome back. 1 minute on the clock here in the second quarter. 24-14. It's Tampa Bay out in front. Another nice return for Amari Jackson as it's 1st and 10 for the Gladiators from their own 18-yard line. So that's what's on tap for the Gladiators as they get ready to start up their next drive. It's Cavs night here at the Q, and you see the Spirit Squad, the Q Spirit Squad out on the field, showing some of their talents. I don't think I can do what they're doing, Dustin.
I don't think so either, Doug.
Be an injury waiting to happen for me, but it's pretty impressive what they're doing out there.
I would pay to see you jump on some of these trampolines and try and do some of the pyramids that they're doing on the field here at Quicken Loans Arena right now. I would pay to see that, Doug.
Well, they're running and going off the trampoline simultaneously, so I could come from one side and you could come from the other.
And then we'd kill ourselves.
It probably wouldn't work out too well.
No.
Leave it to the professionals. 1 minute to go here in the second quarter. 24-14, Tampa Bay out in front of the Gladiators. The Gladiators taking over 1st and 10 from their own 18-yard line after another nice return from Amari Jackson, who's been doing a great job in the return game tonight. Tampa Bay hasn't seemed to have an answer for him. This was really one of the best jobs of coverage Tampa Bay has done on one of Amari Jackson's kickoff returns. Jackson also has a receiving touchdown in the game.
Interesting, you take a look at the team stats right now as we're approaching a minute to go till halftime. Tampa Bay's outgained Cleveland by 100 yards. You know, they've been dominating offensively, yet it's still a ball game. Still a ball game that's very much winnable. And you can cut it to 3 points here right before halftime.
Shane Austin and company taking over. 1st and 10 from their own 18, going left to right, 2 receivers left side. Austin dropping back, throws long up the left side, and it's incomplete, intended for Lewis, but a flag down. So we'll wait and see on this one. Tim Shelley may have.
Pass interference, 21, defense, 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's indeed the case. Tim Shelley, a little too much contact there for the liking of our on-field officiating crew, and Austin again going to Lewis. You can see that comfort level. Didn't take long to get it back.
But I like the aggressive play call here coming off of the field goal. I mean, Kenny and I just talked about the momentum you're trying to build here from your defense and transfer it to your offense. But you go right at it, take a shot down the field, and all of a sudden now good things happen. You get the penalty, and you're in Tampa Bay territory.
A handoff to Jeremy Richardson, who rumbles to the 15-yard line. Good pickup on 1st down. Kenny Rhoda, good run up the middle there by Jeremy Richardson.
Yeah, guys, I just talked with head coach Steve Tunn. I said, do you want to score as quick as you can here, or would you like to chew up the clock, get a score at the end of the half, and then get the ball to start the second half? And he said, a little of both, but if they give us something underneath, we'll use the clock and then try and score.
Here's Austin over the by Colin Taylor. Touchdown Gladiators from 15 yards on 2nd down. It's Austin to Taylor, and Colin Taylor puts 6 on the board, and the Gladiators pull to within 4.
Well, that's exactly what you wanted to have happen for Cleveland before halftime. You wanted to score, and as Kenny pointed out, talking to Coach Tunn, you want to use as much clock as you possibly can. 24 seconds left for Tampa Bay to score. I mean, that's more than enough time, but it's better than scoring on the first play and giving them close to a minute of time to come out here and score. Taking a look back at that last play, Colin Taylor does a great job over the middle. Gives a little shimmy shake and runs that skinny post for the touchdown.
The extra point try from Trevino is good, so now it's just a 3-point ball game. That field goal on Tampa Bay's last drive is the difference maker now. And if you're the Gladiators looking at this, 24.6 seconds left in the second, you're getting the ball to start the second half. The Gladiators can hold Tampa Bay to a field goal at most. Then you're looking at yourself being in the position to start the second half and having an opportunity to take the lead.
They're in a great spot. They're in a great spot right now. You gotta somehow find a way to keep Tampa out of the end zone. I don't care if they get down and try another field goal, but they can't score a touchdown here before half.
Again, you can afford to hold them to a field goal here.
Yeah.
Then you start off the second half with a chance to take a lead, but you don't want Tampa Bay to score. Kenny Rhoda down on the field.
Guys, with that touchdown grab, Colin Taylor now leading the team with 26 touchdown catches on the year. Goody obviously out tonight, unable to play, so they came in with 25 each, and with that touchdown grab, he now has the team lead. I'm sure that's going to change, go back and forth, the competition between those two guys throughout the year. But right now, Colin Taylor, how about coming from where he came last year as a partial player to one of the key players this year?
Colin Taylor has had a heck of a season. He's already got career highs in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. Leads the Gladiators in receiving touchdowns. We talked about that in our pregame lead and the success that he's had this season, and they need him to keep it up. He's been very, very reliable over the course of the year, and a big reason the Gladiators have the 7-5 record they have right now is Trevino kicks it off from our left down to our right. Ings set to return. Kendrick Ings out of the end zone. No, he won't get out of the end zone. Now he finally does, and he's taken down by who else but Colin Taylor in on the special teams tackle.
That's a dangerous spot to be in for Tampa Bay. You're right around the goal line. He comes out of the end zone. It looked like initially, it almost looked like he stepped out and went back in and came back out again.
Penalty from the 5-yard line, first down.
So it looks like the Gladiators were penalized offsides on the kickoff, so now Tampa Bay gets some breathing room that they didn't get from the return. They'll have it to start at their own 15-yard line, going right to left. Cavaliers night here at the Gladiators game. Gladiators wearing their wine and gold jerseys. Very nice uniforms. Dustin and I and Kenny down on the field all wearing Cavs polos tonight.
We're sporting some sweet gear.
Boltis on 1st and 10 from the 15, throws right to a wide open Gregory over the 20 to the 15, plows his way to the 10-yard line and inside the 10. How about the shoulder that Gregory just put into Fred Shaw up the right sideline?
Oh, Shaw was not ready for that. He expected Gregory just to take a step out of bounds and declare himself down, stop the clock. Instead, Gregory decides he's going to lower the boom.
And I think Steve Tunn may be trying to get a further look at this to see if Gregory stepped out of bounds right after he made the catch. Gladiators have one timeout. Tampa Bay has one timeout. 13 seconds are left here in the second quarter. 2 receivers left side, make it 3 as Tolliver heads over. Boltis, the quarterback, drops back, looks for Tolliver, and there's going to be a pass interference call coming here against Dominic Jones. Pass intended for Tolliver. We're down to 9.5 seconds on the clock here in the second. Tampa Bay nursing the 24-21 lead. And we'll wait for the penalty announcement from field level. Tolliver again got that little bit of separation.
Pass interference. 2, defense. Clock operator, please put 13 seconds on the clock. Half the distance, automatic first down.
So 13 seconds on the clock. Tampa Bay by 3, 24-21. First and goal for Tampa Bay inside the 5-yard line. Now we've seen Tampa Bay in this game almost have more comfort when they have a long field ahead of them than when they get down in a situation like this. 3 receivers left side. Osai in the backfield. First and goal from the 4 for Boltis and company. Boltis drops back, throws, incomplete for Tolliver.
I'll tell you what, Dominic Jones, he got away with pass interference there. He basically wraps his arms around T.T. Tolliver as he runs into him. And it's a smart play because a pass interference penalty gives him another down, but it doesn't give you a touchdown. And it creates just enough separation there as he goes right into him. Here you take a look as he goes right into him, grabs him, but it's a good no call, and it allows Tolliver to throw off the timing between him and his quarterback.
9.5 seconds to go here in the first half. 2 receivers left side. Ings in motion. Boltis to the end zone. Gregory, and he can't hang on to it. Looked like it went off his hands, maybe his chest. Fred Shaw was putting the pressure on, but Gregory wasn't able to hang on to the ball, and this will bring up 3rd down and goal from the 4-yard line for Tampa Bay. So Boltis put that one right on the money.
And Shaw coming back and getting a little revenge on Gregory for that big hit he took a couple plays back when he thought he was going to go out of bounds, and he didn't. He lowered the boom, but right there he makes up for it. And now he's getting the fans pumped up here at Quicken Loans Arena.
6.4 seconds on the clock. Second quarter, 24-21 Storm. 3 receivers left side. Boltis looks for the end zone, and it's picked off.
Guess who?
Fred Shaw. Tampa Bay down to the red zone, and again, they're not able to close the deal, and they turn it over, and the Gladiators will have a chance to run one play here.
Huge. What a play.
2.5 seconds to go in the half.
If Tampa Bay scores that touchdown, that last drive by Cleveland is all for nothing. And because your defense, which has struggled throughout the early part of the evening, comes up with a big play now, you're feeling yourself pretty good here going into halftime. Just want to run a little play here, some positive yards, quarterback sneak or something along those lines. Unless they decide to take a shot, maybe Coach Tunn decides to let Shane Austin take one of those shots, but I'd be very cautious here.
So Fred Shaw's first interception of the season comes at a huge time. 2 receivers right side, Taylor in motion. Austin drops back, he's going to throw it. Goes left for Amari Jackson. The final horn sounds, and that'll do it for the first half from the Q. The Gladiators trailing in this one, but down just 3, considering the way things started in that first half. You go into halftime down 3 and taking the ball to start the second half. You can't feel too bad about how things have gone in this one. If you're Tampa Bay on the other side, you're probably sitting there thinking you could have done a lot more with what you had in that opening half than going into halftime up by just 3 points. Doug Plagans, Dustin Fox here. Let's send it downstairs. Kenny Rhoda.
I'm here with Amari Jackson. Amari, a slow start, but you're only down 3 at halftime. A huge defensive play there. How do you feel going into the locker room?
Our defensive guys have been showing up, man. They've been doing their job week in and week out. We just got to start capitalizing on offense as a unit and making these things count, man. Their turnovers, we need to make them count, man, as a unit. We've been talking about that for weeks now. We want to execute everything during the second half.
How about your touchdown grab in the first half, your 18th of the season? Take me through that play. How did it develop?
Everybody ran the routes well. The line held up well, but those guys pulling guys out for me left it wide open, and Shane made a great throw.
What's been the key with you on the kickoff returns? You almost took one the distance there, got out at the 1 yard line, but you've had a bunch of big returns.
Blocking. Just trusting my guys. Those guys are opening up some holes, man, and the rest is just guys like Corey Payne, Terrence Sanders, having Andre Thurman around. Those good return guys, man, that's teaching me about, returns and where the hole's at and how to trust it. So it's a team effort, and we're just doing a good job of it right now.
What's the key in the second half to get this win?
Offense. We got to capitalize. We got to score, man. That team is bringing it. They're hungry, man, and if we don't get hungry soon, this game could be up for grabs. It's already up for grabs, but we just got to capitalize and execute our stuff. Coach is calling the right plays, and we just got to execute it.
All right, thanks. Good luck in the second half. Amari Jackson with a big first half for the Cleveland Gladiators. They trail 24-21, a whole second half to go. So plenty of exciting action coming your way. Time now to remind you that this is Cleveland Gladiators football, and it is Cavaliers night, presented by Unique Home Solutions on My 43W UAB and 92.3 The Fan.
Welcome back. 24-21 Tampa Bay on top of the Gladiators in this one as we get set to begin the second half. Kenny Rhoda right downstairs where the players are coming out. What's the mood like down there?
Just talked with head coach Steve Tunn. I said, give me some of the keys in the second half. What do you have to do? He said, first and foremost, we have to score on this first possession and take the lead and be more consistent on offense. He said, defensively, we can't keep giving up the big play. We have to control the defensive line, offensive line matchup there, not give up the big play because they're getting time to throw the football. And then also got to block better on offense, too. That goes back to the consistency, giving Shane more time to throw the football, guys.
Kenny Rhoda downstairs. I'm Doug Plagans alongside Dustin Fox. And, well, Steve Tunn saying the Gladiators need to score on this drive to start the half. No question about it. You score on this drive, you can take charge in the football game. And the other point that Steve made with Kenny was saying the Gladiators can't give up that big play. You look at the way Tampa Bay's gone so far, they're more comfortable looking for that big play than they are when they get down in the red zone.
Well, speaking of big plays, let's keep an eye on number 11, Amari Jackson, on this play right now, this kickoff return. He's had a couple of big ones. He's been very close. In fact, the one he gets down to the 1 yard line. Let's see if he can start the second half and allow this offense to have some good field position.
So Amari Jackson down to our right to return the opening kickoff of the second half. Craig Peterson to kick it off down to our left, and now Peterson gets it away, and this one's going to take a bounce off the near netting. Amari Jackson has it cleanly, and he's stopped inside the 10-yard line around the 6, and definitely the best job Tampa Bay has done getting to Amari Jackson on a return all night long.
Yeah, he's been really close to breaking a couple of these, in fact, tonight, but yeah, definitely the best job they've done in terms of their coverage team, getting him down inside the 10-yard line.
They have him at the 7-yard line, and the Gladiators got a pretty good spot there. So 5 returns, 143 yards for Amari Jackson. Not too shabby. A factor in the fact that he's got a receiving touchdown in the game as well. We've gone a half minute here in the second half. 24-21 Tampa Bay in front. Gladiators with the ball. 1st and 10 from their own 7. A pass from Austin to Jackson in stride up the near side. May have enough for very close to the first down. We'll see if he has it. Looks like he does. So a 10-yard pickup for Amari Jackson out to the 17-yard line. 1st down and 10 for the Gladiators, who are going right to left. They've got their wine and gold Cavs-themed jerseys on tonight. Cavs-themed uniforms, and Tampa Bay has white jerseys, blue pants, blue helmets. 2 receivers right side. 1st and 10. Austin drops back, has Taylor open around midfield, breaks a tackle, gets down inside the Tampa Bay 20 before he's ultimately taken down by a tandem of Tampa Bay defensive backs at the 19. A 14-yard pickup for Colin Taylor.
Taylor comes out as a high motion man, sits down in that zone coverage. They're they're giving a little bit of respect to Colin Taylor, who has earned it certainly this season with the year he's having, and that's where he makes his money, right over there over the middle. Security blanket for Shane Austin.
13:20 left here in the third, 24-21. It's Tampa Bay out in front. Gladiators trying to take the lead if they can score in this drive. Austin to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Burden got a hand on it, couldn't hang on to it, and that's been part of the problem. It's actually going in the stat book looking like Tampa Bay's defensive backs are breaking up a lot of passes, but what they're not doing is holding onto the football when they have a chance to pull one in.
First incompletion for Shane Austin of his last 9 throws. Up to that point, he had completed 8 in a row, and that one could have been picked off, should have been picked off there in the back of the end zone. But Austin was getting into a little bit of a rhythm. Let's see if he can get right back into where he left off.
So 2nd and 10 from the 19, and it's going to roll away. Austin gets a pass off. This one goes incomplete. Very fortunate for the Gladiators. Austin was able to pick that one back up and toss it away for an incomplete pass. Could have been much more damage done there. It looked like he went to throw it and went off his lineman.
Well, that was an interesting
just fell out of his hand
right there, and he smartly is able to pick it up and just throw it away in the stands to a fan, because that play had disaster written all over it.
Went off the back of Jeremy Richardson, the fullback. Austin very calmly just went over and picked it up and got rid of it. No harm done. You lose the down, but you keep the possession. 3 receivers left side, 3rd and 10. Austin dropping back, and he's hit as he throws. Gets one off, and this one is incomplete. And again, Tampa Bay has a chance to take the possession right away, and they can't do it.
Al Phillips again. That's his 2nd dropped interception of the night. Now, again, he'll get credit for the pass breakup. I think that'll be his 5th on the afternoon, or on the evening rather. But that's a duck from Shane Austin. That's now 2 poor throws back to back.
So 4th and 10 coming for the Gladiators. Al Phillips came into this game 27 pass breakups. And what that tells me is he probably should be the league's leader in interceptions, because he's had a chance for 2 or 3 tonight, and he has not.
Yeah, should have 2 or 3 more.
3 receivers left side, 4th down and 10. Austin looks, and it's caught by Jackson to the end zone. Touchdown, Gladiators. Austin to Jackson for the 2nd time tonight. That time on 4th down, and the Gladiators have taken the lead.
That's just a vet move from Amari Jackson, working on the man we've been talking about, giving him lots of pubs tonight, Al Phillips. But Amari Jackson's going to come across the defense, and he just uses his body to create enough separation between him and the defensive back to allow Shane Austin to see that separation and deliver the ball with accuracy to the end zone.
27-24 Gladiators over Tampa Bay. First lead of the game.
And that should be Amari Jackson's 3rd touchdown tonight, because the one he got down to the 1-yard line on the kickoff return was so close they actually had to go back and review it.
The extra point try from Trevino is good. 10-16 left here in the third. Gladiators in front, 28-24. And now the pressure really on Tampa Bay. Amari Jackson's 2nd receiving touchdown of the night gives the Gladiators the lead. It's Gladiators football presented by Unique Home Solutions. Right here in the
Kenny Rhoda back here at Quicken Loans Arena on Cavaliers night. The Gladiators with their first lead, 28-24 on Tampa Bay, joined by quarterback Shane Austin. Shane, first lead, how important was it to score coming out of the locker room and take the lead?
Definitely important, especially with those early miscues we had in the first half. We knew we were getting the ball back second half, so it's important to take the lead right away, and now we just keep it going.
All right, that touchdown pass, was the play basically what you called in the huddle, and it just developed and opened up?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, in 4th down, those situations, you got to score. You're going to get a different look. A lot of times, man, so you just got to win. You just got to win, and Amari did that.
Beautiful pass on that one, but I like the one you threw to the blonde in the 3rd row before that. Smart play.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to fumble, but you don't want to make a bad situation worse. I had to get the ball out of bounds.
I think she made a nice catch, almost as good as Amari's. Guys, back up to you.
10-11 left here in the third. 28-24 Gladiators the kickoff. Ought to play. There won't be a return, so Tampa Bay is going to have a long field ahead of them here. Tampa Bay trailing for the first time in this game. Folks, bring your group of 10 or more out to the queue to experience Gladiators football. Group tickets start at only $10 and include exclusive perks. For details, 216-420-2500 or visit clevelandgladiators.com. Gladiators football presented by Unique Home Solutions. 10:02 left here in the third. 28-24 Gladiators in front. Amari Jackson's second receiving touchdown of the game gives the Gladiators their first lead of the game. Tampa Bay, first and 10 on their own 5, going left to right, a long pass from Boltis, and just a hair too far for Emery Salmons, but we have a flag down around the goal line.
It's a 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So they get the Gladiators Anthony DeGreat for roughing the passer. So Tampa Bay is going to benefit from that and move out to the 15-yard line from the 5. So they get some breathing room there, and they went for the big play.
Yeah, Anthony DeGreat's, that's a bonehead play in the end zone. He's got to be smarter and let up. The ball was clearly out of the quarterback's hands when he comes in for the late shot, and now you've allowed Tampa to have much better field position to start this drive.
2 receivers right side on first down. It's completed to a wide open T.T. Tolliver up the left side, and he has his legs taken out from under him by Donnie Fletcher, but it's a substantial pickup by T.T. Tolliver on a pass from Boltis. The play started from the Tampa Bay 15.
Yeah, I don't know what the defense was doing in the back end of that one, because Tolliver just slides out, and it was almost like the defensive backs may have had a little bit of a breakdown there in the back end. Now Tampa Bay's in great position to take the lead right back. See if Cleveland rather can bow up here and come up with another one of those key interceptions like Fred Shaw had at the end of the first half.
So first and goal from the 4 for Tampa Bay. Boltis to the right, completed to Salmons, shy of the goal line. And you're right, now we're seeing how Tampa Bay's going to respond in their first drive, trailing in this one. They pick up a couple, it appears, and that'll bring up second down and goal from the 2-yard line.
You know, they use their big fullback Ben Osai, who is listed at 6'6", 315. Do they hand him the football?
He's bigger than anybody else on the Gladiators' defensive front.
Oh, he's a monster.
He's the lone man in the backfield, 3 receivers left side. Boltis is going to take off himself, and he's going nowhere. Randy Collin got him around the legs, and he was finished off, taken down 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. And unless Tampa Bay dropped the yard, we'll see. No gain. And again, Tampa Bay gets in the red zone, and the wheels just seem to fall off a little bit when they get down there.
And they're trying to run behind Ben Osai, that big fullback we talked about there, but quarterback Jason Boltis decides to cut back upfield, and there's nobody there except Cleveland Gladiator defenders. So not a smart call by Boltis. He should have followed his lead blockers. Might have been in the end zone.
On 3rd goal from the 2, Boltis is going to try and take off again. He's got nowhere to go. He's taken down by Willie McGinnis in the backfield. He lost at least a yard on that play. It's going to bring up 4th and goal. 7:06 to go here in the 3rd. And you know, you and I have called a lot of games by now, and I don't know that we've seen a team struggle when they've gotten to the red zone quite like this tonight. And the Gladiators' defense is to be credited for that. They've done a great job when they've had to, down there inside the 10, inside the 5.
You wonder if it's the lack of running attack that allows Cleveland to play one-dimensional against this offense.
Boltis on 4th down. Can't find anywhere to put it. Throws, and we've got a flag in the end zone.
Probably going to get a defensive
Salmons
hold.
was wrapped up. It was intended for Emery Salmons. T.T. Tolliver's body language would suggest Tampa Bay's keeping the football. Same with Ben Osai, who just made a first down signal. The officials talk it over.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Holding, defense 2. That penalty is declined. Pass interference 7, defense. At the distance, automatic first down.
So a couple of penalties, and Tampa Bay is going to have it 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. And we have the overhead view on the television side to look at here.
You got to be careful down here, especially in the situation, but it's always hard to blame a defensive back for trying to be overly aggressive when you're on the 2-yard line. You're just trying to do all you can to keep him out, especially on a 4th down.
Boltis getting a push from Osai, and was it enough of a push? We'll wait and see. Looks like he's short of the goal line. So Tampa Bay's struggles in close continue. What they're doing now is really carving into this clock. going to be second and goal from inside the 1 yard line. You can't really get that football any closer to the goal line without it being over the goal line. 5:42 on the clock, third quarter. Tampa Bay down 4, and they're trying to regain the lead here. Looks like we'll have 3 Tampa Bay receivers on the left side. Boltis again gets a push. I don't think he got there. He might have even been pushed back. Dominic Jones came right in and wrapped him up. Just a huge defensive play for the Gladiators once again.
Just amazing. Take a look at the overhead look here. If you're watching on television, and you can see just the middle of that defense being so stout, led by Willie McGinnis, to not allow Tampa Bay to get in that end zone. Boy, this is fun to watch. I don't know that we've ever seen a defense, Doug, with 6 plays inside the 5-yard line, and they still can't get in the end zone.
And they haven't handed the ball off. They also haven't gone to one of those end-around type plays that we see teams employ quite a bit. Now flags are down, and perhaps this will go against Tampa Bay.
16, offense.
Well, they have game. They didn't get the play off on time.
So that's a big penalty. Back them up 5 yards. And now sometimes you could say, well, this helps the offense, but where they were at, they were so close that Jason Boltis may have just been able to fall forward into the end zone. This is a big penalty here, and now the Glads got to be feeling a little bit of mojo, thinking they can get off the field again, possibly on 4th down.
Well, if this is doing anything right now, it's giving the Gladiators defense a load of confidence.
Absolutely.
4:25 to go in the third. 3 receivers left side. Gladiators with the only points of the half so far. Boltis drops back. Now he's going to take off, and now he dives to the end zone, and he's got enough for the touchdown. That's what he was trying to do from the 1-foot line. It wasn't working out. He does it from 6 yards out. Tampa Bay is back in front by a 30-28 margin. 4 minutes to go here in the third, and Tampa Bay really took a chunk of time off the clock here in this third quarter.
Yeah, that was a long drive by Tampa Bay, and you wonder if because it was such a long drive, it doesn't feel like such a momentum shift for Cleveland. They were able to bow up there defensively, certainly on that 4th down. They're going to feel like they got the stop, and we'll see Shane Austin, I bet, come out here.
The kick from Peterson is good, and no, it doesn't. It was no good. It went just wide, and the Gladiators put the pressure on there, enough of it to disrupt things. And, well, it's a 2-point Tampa Bay lead. 30-28. We'll be right back. It's Gladiators football presented by Unique Home Solutions right here on the Gladiators Football Network. Welcome back, everybody. Tampa Bay back out in front in what's become a seesaw battle. 3:29 left here in the third. 30-28 Storm out in front of this one. Folks, celebrate your birthday in style. The Gladiators football game. Birthday packages include a visit from our mascot, Rudy, special ticket discounts, and much more. For details, 216-420-2500. Visit clevelandgladiators.com or any Northern Ohio discount drug mart. Gladiators football presented by Unique Home Solutions. And now here's Tampa Bay to line up for the kickoff. Peterson able to boot it down off the bar. Jackson bobbles, pulls it in, escapes from the end zone, and he's going to be wrapped up and forced to the sideboards here along the near side at maybe the 5 or 6 yard line. 3:18 left here in the third. Along the field ahead of the Gladiators. When we come back, Gladiators down to 30-28. It's Gladiators football presented by Unique Home Solutions right here on the Gladiators Football Network. 30-28, Tampa Bay out in front of the Gladiators, and the Gladiators set to take the ball here very shortly. Folks, enroll in the Gladiators Football Alliance, the exclusive club for Gladiators season ticket holders. Members receive year-round benefits, special discounts, and much more. For details, 216-420-2222 or visit clevelandgladiators.com. Gladiators football is presented by Unique Home Solutions. 30-28, it's Tampa Bay out in front in this one. 7 plays, 45 yards, 5 minutes, 40 seconds taken off the clock. A drive that ended with a Jason Boltis 6-yard touchdown run. Then they missed the extra point. So a 30-28 Tampa Bay lead. And you hit it on the head, Dustin, talking about that drive. is it really a momentum shifter? Because it took so long for Tampa Bay to get it in the end zone.
Yeah.
In arena football, when a team gets down to the 1-yard line, first and goal from the 1, the defense almost isn't even expected to be able to hold the line for 4 consecutive plays. And the Gladiators were just doing all they could to keep Tampa Bay out of the end zone, and until Boltus broke through with that 6-yard run, they had really done quite a bit and done a great job.
Yeah, it's almost like a situation where when you get inside the 5-yard line down to the 1-yard line, you're expected to score. When defenses are able to stand like the way they did in that last drive, that can build some of that confidence, especially transferring over here to the offense to see if Shane Austin comes out and realizes some of that on this drive.
Got the offense a nice breather, too. 1st and 10 from the 6. Gladiators right to left. Austin for Taylor. And it's popped out of the hands of Colin Taylor. Reaching over for the Tampa Bay Storm was Al Phillips, the defensive back, and that was what it was. The ball was right where it needed to be, and Phillips just reached in there and was able to get enough of a hand or arm on that ball to knock it out of play and incomplete. So 2:40 left in the third, and Al Phillips continues to pile up the pass breakups. 2nd down and 10 for the Gladiators from their own 6. Again, going right to left, 3 receivers right side. Gladiators down to Austin. Drops back, throws. Taylor near side has it shy of the 20, then plows over the 20-yard line. Taken into the boards by Phillips here on the near side. A good pickup for the Gladiators, more than enough for the 1st down. Chains move. And the Gladiators, with just over 2 minutes to go in the third, have it at their own 23.
Amari Jackson clears out from everybody and just allows Colin Taylor to sit down right behind the Jack linebacker for an easy pitch and catch, pick up the 1st down. Need a little bit more of that on this drive, and I think the Gladiators will be cooking.
So for Taylor, 5 catches, 64 yards, and a touchdown in the game. 2 receivers right side. Austin a dump off. C.J. Cobb makes the grab, but then has his feet taken out from under him, shy of the 20-yard line. C.J. Cobb picking up the catch there. That's his 3rd reception of the year. Came in with 2 catches, 18 yards. He and Kid O'Brien, really the 2 who rotate as far as the offensive linemen who get involved in the passing game.
Almost like a dual screen there. They also leak out Jeremy Richardson, the big fullback, and also Cobb, who's 6'4", 310. You see his height and weight right there on the screen, and they could have went either way with it. They decided to leak out Cobb to the other backside, and he picks up a pretty good gain.
1:06 to go here in the third. Austin drops back on 2nd and 2. Heaves it long, and we've got a pass interference call coming up. That one was a long pass to the end zone intended for Corey Payne, the number 4 wide receiver in the Gladiators lineup tonight.
Pass interference, 8, defense, 10-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Rick J. Hill guilty of the pass interference penalty. Corey Payne, a veteran guy in the Arena Football League. And he was the intended man that time, but again, there was no way he was coming down with that, as he was taken down before the ball even arrived on the scene. Penalties in the game. Tampa Bay has 8 against them, 5 against the Gladiators. 38 seconds left here in the third. Austin dropping back, throws end zone. Taylor, and he's not able to make the grab. Incomplete pass.
And Colin Taylor and Shane Austin love that little corner route to the back corner of the end zone. They've completed it so many times. I thought Austin's pass right there was on the money. Colin Taylor's got to come up with that one.
15 seconds left in the third. 30-28, Tampa Bay in front. 2nd and 10 for the Gladiators. 2nd and goal, I should say, from the 10. 3 receivers right side. Richardson in the backfield. Austin throws to the end zone again, and the catch is made for a touchdown. Corey Payne. Even though there was going to be pass interference on the call, he still makes the grab, and the Gladiators are back on top, 34-30.
Well, when we asked Coach Tunn before the game who's going to step up in the absence of Dominic Goodman, he mentions Corey Payne's name, and he couldn't come up in any bigger situation. Pass interference and all, still makes the grab and gives the Glads the lead right back.
34-30 Gladiators. And now Trevino on to try and make it a 5-point ball game. This will do it for the third quarter. The hold. The kick off the upright, no good.
I was thinking about going for 2 there in that situation to go up 6.
Well, it's a 4-point ball game, and the third quarter is in the books. So Tampa Bay will take over when we come back. Corey Payne's first receiving touchdown of the season is a big one. It's given the Gladiators a lead. Folks, this is Gladiators football, presented by Unique Home Solution, right here on the Gladiators Football Network. Welcome back to the Q. Just about time to start the fourth quarter, and the Gladiators are in front by a 34-30 margin over the Tampa Bay Storm. Kenny Rhoda is on the bench with Corey Payne.
Well, I was until he had to get called out on the kickoff, guys. They needed a man, and the new guy, Corey Payne, scoring his first touchdown in his first game, doing double duty. So he caught the touchdown even though he was grabbed and pulled down with a pass interference penalty. He's ready to talk to me. They said, we need one. He put his helmet on. He's back out there. He's number 3, so he's doing a little bit of everything in his first game, fellas.
Hey, Kenny, any thought there to maybe go for 2 in that situation?
You know what? I tried to eavesdrop, and I couldn't hear anything on that one. Yeah, you wonder, was it too early? I don't know if they have the chart like they do in the NFL that tells you when to go for 2 or just go for 1. So I'll see if I can ask Coach, see what he says on that.
All right, sounds good.
So the Gladiators up 4, 15 minutes on the board. It'll be the final 15 minutes of regulation in tonight's game, and Corey Payne made a heck of a grab to close out the third quarter and give the Gladiators this lead. And it was in the back of the end zone and close to the boards. Defender draped all over him. So much that the Gladiators were going to benefit from a penalty call had the pass gone incomplete. Tampa Bay set to take the ball once again as Ings is lined up for the return. Gladiators touchdowns in the last 5 possessions, not counting when they got the ball left with 2.5 seconds to go in the first half. The kickoff won't have a return as Trevino put it right through the uprights into that netting, and it took a drop into the seats. No return for Ings. 14:54 on the clock, fourth quarter, 34-30. Gladiators on top of Tampa Bay. Ball goes in the seats at an AFL game. You take that ball home.
And that may be one of the cutest fans to catch one of those balls.
Some Medical Mutual statistics after 3 quarters. Gladiators, 15 first downs to 14 for Tampa Bay. Total yards, 235 to 180. Still a Tampa Bay advantage. Each team has turned it over once via interception or fumble. Turnover on downs, though, have come into play on multiple other occasions. Tampa Bay, first and 10 from their own 5, going right to left. Boltis drops back, and he'll throw over the middle. This one is caught. Ings over midfield before he's finished off by Joe Finnessy around the 22, maybe the 21-yard line of the Gladiators. Looks like the Gladiators actually get a favorable spot. They'll put this back at the 23, but still a big pickup and a first down for Tampa Bay.
All right, here's my idea, Doug. I think we just let Tampa Bay get inside the 5-yard line, and then we'll be fine. Because all of a sudden the defense decides to show up down there around the goal line, out in midfield, in the field. It seems like we've allowed a lot of space for these Tampa Bay receivers to run around.
2 receivers right side. Bolt is tripped up, taken down around midfield. A quarterback sack. Mike Alston looked like he got a little piece of him. Enough to trip up the quarterback. Good pressure from the defensive line. Couple Gladiators may have gotten a piece from there. Willie McGinnis made the last contact. So that'll back the Tampa Bay Storm up a couple of yards to midfield. And you're right, Tampa Bay's been very efficient for about 45 of the 50 yards on this field. 2 receivers right side. 1 on the left, 1 on the backfield. Boltis on 2nd and 12. Rolls left, gets the pass off. Long to Ings, back in the end zone, incomplete. Dominic Jones in the way. Ings couldn't get a clear line of sight on that one as a result, and the ball winds up incomplete.
It's a game of inches, Doug. It really is. And I think it was just enough pressure from Mike Alston on Boltis to take a look at it, just enough to force him to throw off his back foot, and allows Dominic Jones to get there. That extra second, that game of inches, man, it's so close. And it's all set off by Mike Alston's pressure.
3rd and 12 for Tampa Bay, and a chance for the Gladiators to really take an upper hand they haven't had all night if they're able to shut down Tampa Bay on this drive. Here's Boltis dropping back over the middle, and it's picked up by Donnie Fletcher, or not. It is picked off, but he was down by contact after the interception. It doesn't matter, it's Gladiators football. A game-changing play there as Donnie Fletcher stepped in the way.
And you just wonder how much of that was the pressure from the previous play, forcing him to throw the football quicker than he would have liked.
And
is that going to stand?
Huge turn of events.
Yeah, I think it's going to stand. Take a look at the second look on replay. Definitely. They're going to try and get this play off before they get a chance to review it.
And the Gladiators set to run an offensive play here. 1st and 10 over the middle. Austin, pass interference call on the way without a doubt as Burden got a piece of Corey Payne. Back downstairs to Kenny Rhoda.
Hey guys, a couple of things on that interception. Boltis, the quarterback, the play before took a big hit, came up limping. Got to wonder if that affected his throw on that play. The pressure coming from both sides, and that could have affected the interception. And then, yeah, head coach Steve Tunn saying, hurry up, run a play. Didn't want them to get a look at that on replay.
Gladiators, after the penalty against Tampa Bay for pass interference, they move into Tampa Bay territory to the 23-yard line. 1st down and 10, Gladiators left to right. Austin hands off to Jeremy Richardson, who won't have much to work with there. He's taken into the boards near side by Richard Klebert. Maybe a yard, but it'll be 2nd down and long, and looks like a 1-yard pickup. So the Gladiators up 4. Chance for them to get their first 2-score lead if they can put it in the end zone on this drive. 2 receivers left side, Lewis in motion in the slot. Austin drops back, takes a long look. Taylor has it right around the 1st down marker, and he's forced to the sideboards. Colin Taylor on the receiving end there, and it's a Gladiators 1st down. 10:42 left here in the 4th. The key now for the Gladiators is just don't give Tampa Bay any freebies. Take care of the football. Keep doing what you're doing. The Gladiators have played a very sound game, really, since the end of the 1st quarter.
Yeah, I mean, Tampa Bay has owned the time of possession. They've owned the offensive yardage gained. And now, all of a sudden, Cleveland has the ability, as you say, Doug, to just do their thing and keep grinding and score some points, and they'll win this game.
Austin long to Taylor, leans out. Does he have it? Touchdown Gladiators! What a diving catch made by Colin Taylor. There was a penalty flag against the defense, but it won't matter. Taylor made the catch anyway, and the Gladiators are up 10. You can tell Tampa Bay's feeling pressure now because a lot of contact in the defensive backfield from their DBs.
Well, the 2 pass interference penalties on that drive alone, they're starting to press a little bit more and try and make more plays, more aggressive plays to try and get the football back for their offense. And it doesn't matter. That's 2 PIs on touchdown catches by our wide receivers.
High snap, and Deeger got it down. The kick from Trevino is good. 41-30, Gladiators over Tampa Bay. Biggest lead of the night for the Gladiators. Some pushing and shoving after the play. We'll step aside. Gladiators football presented by Unique Home Solutions right here on the Gladiators Football Network. .9:41 to go here in the 4th quarter. Gladiators, their biggest lead of the night by 11. 41-30 the score after that touchdown pass. Colin Taylor, the capped off the last drive, and now Trevino set to kick it away down to our right where Kendrick Ings awaits on the return. So Trevino will boot it down to our right. Ings looking to play this one, and he won't have a play on this one. It goes into the seats. 9:35 to go here in the 4th. Gladiators by 11. Tampa Bay ball when we come back. It's Gladiators football presented by Unique Home Solutions right here on 92.3 The Fan. Welcome back, 9:35 to go here in the fourth quarter. Gladiators by 11, 41-30. Tampa Bay set to begin a new series of downs here in just a moment. Follow the Gladiators on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay connected to your favorite team. Interact with the team like never before while you view and share the coolest team pictures and videos. Gladiators football is presented by Unique Home Solutions. So Tampa Bay, 1st and 10 from their own 5. And just looking at the way things are falling in place here, if Tampa Bay is able to get in the end zone, it's almost go for 2 territory for them now.
Yeah,
by 11.
Definitely go for 2. You try and make it a 3-point game and allow yourself a chance to get back in this thing. But you got to be feeling pretty good the way that this game started. If you're a Cleveland fan tonight, that you got a shot here.
Bolt is long for Sammons. He's got it. 1 play, and it's a 45-yard touchdown pass for the Tampa Bay Storm.
Well, I didn't mean to jinx that one with my comment there, but that's how arena football goes. It can turn in a heartbeat. But you said it before the last drive, Doug, and I totally agree. The Glads are fine. You just got to keep doing their thing and grinding away and scoring some points. And they hold the serve here now. They hold possession. They keep scoring touchdowns, they'll win this game.
Tampa Bay is going to go for the 1 rather than the 2. Lawrence Samuels, still a lot of time on the clock, so he'll call for the point after. And the kick looked like it went off the upright butt there.
He's going to get a roughing the kicker penalty on a
very
very aggressive Mike Alston rush.
Well, there's a flag on the play. A 5-point Gladiators lead, and
The try is good. After the play, personal foul, roughing the kicker. 44. That penalty will be assessed on the first play after the kickoff.
Went off the inside of the upright, went through the net. It's good, and it's a 4-point Gladiators lead. 8:35 left here in the fourth. We'll step aside. We'll be right back. It's Gladiators football presented by Unique Home Solutions right here on the Gladiators Football Network. 8:35 to go, fourth quarter. Gladiators still in front, but now in front by a 41-37 margin, a 4-point spread on the board. Folks, every Gladiators home game offers amazing drink specials at the queue. Get select draft beers for only $2, Pepsi's for only $1 at the game. For tickets, 216-420-2222. Visit clevelandgladiators.com or any Northern Ohio discount drug mart. Gladiators football is presented by Unique Home Solutions. And especially with these Friday night games, getting off work downtown, looking for a way to kick off your weekend, you can come down here. $2 drafts at the Gladiators game.
You can't beat it, and you get a great product on the field as well. It's a lot of fun to watch these games, very family friendly.
Line drive kick handled by Amari Jackson, who's wrapped up and taken down around the 6, maybe the 7-yard line. Gladiators will work from left to right with 8:24 to go here in the fourth, and a 4-point lead. So for the Gladiators, talked about it, they're the team with the upper hand right now. They're the team that can dictate the flow of this game just by continuing on with what's working. The key for both teams is you have to score every time. You can't turn it over. If the Gladiators turn one over, Tampa Bay has a window of opportunity. If Tampa Bay turns one over, they know they could lose the game essentially on that play. So that's what it comes down to here in the fourth quarter.
8.5 minutes to go. This is what you want to be, especially at home. You get your crowd behind you, get a little bit of momentum, and go down here and put a touchdown on the board, and then try and cap it off with the defensive stand.
8:24 on the clock, fourth quarter. Gladiators by 4, 41-37. For the Gladiators, getting to that 50-point margin has been somewhat the magic number, what it's going to take to get a victory. We can talk more about that as we roll along here in the latter stages of the football game. 2 receivers left side. 1st and 10 from back in their own 7. Gladiators get things going. Austin over the middle. Lewis has it, and he's going to be smothered and tackled about halfway to a first down.
Clock is your friend in this situation. You got the whole field to go, and let it tick away. Take as much time as you possibly want at this point in the game.
We've talked about that time of possession stat in this game so far. Sometimes that's deceiving in the Arena Football League. Big reason Tampa Bay has so much more time of possession is because of how long it took them to get into the end zone on one specific drive. But
That's true.
Multiple occasions in this football game. 3 receivers left side. Austin, a dump off. Amari Jackson out of the backfield. Nothing doing there. Looks like he even lost a yard or 2 on the play. 7:25 left fourth quarter. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 5 or 6.
I think that's actually going to go down as a run because that was a pass behind the line of scrimmage back towards Amari Jackson, who's, I think that looks, that's going to be a run. And he'll lose yards. But they've done that multiple times tonight where they just try to get the football out in some of their playmakers' hands in space. Short little shovel passes and plays like that. And Amari Jackson's capable to take it the distance.
Back to the 11 where it's 3rd down and 6, and Austin has time, throws, and this one is away from Amari Jackson, who seemed to cut in a little bit, and the pass was outbound, if you will, and falls incomplete. 4th down and 6, back on their own 11, so a critical play here for the Gladiators, as we were just talking about. Both teams have to be in that mindset. You can't turn the ball over. 6:35 to go, 4th quarter. So a big 4th down play coming. The Gladiators coming into this game on the year, 53.1% on 4th down, good for 3rd in the 12-team AFL. As 2 receivers are lined up to the right. Lewis in motion. Austin and his company need 6 yards for the 1st down. Austin takes off. He's going to have it. Shane Austin up the left side, and he's knocked into the sideboards, but he gets the 1st down and then some. Tampa Bay's defense thought they had what they needed, and they had the coverage they needed on everybody but the quarterback, Shane Austin, who took off with his feet and great to pick up the 1st down.
Just great awareness by Austin. He knows he's got to pick up the 1st down to keep the clock going here. He doesn't want to give up the ball on downs, so he smartly takes off. He knows he can pick up the 1st down. Now, I know Coach Tung gets a little bit mad at the end of these runs when he dives because he sacrifices his body, but that's how Shane Austin plays the game, with a little bit of a reckless abandon that the fans here in Cleveland love.
3 receivers right side. Austin again, a dump off this time to Taylor. He's got some room to go, and he will be close to a 1st down. He may have it. He's taken to the boards on the near side by a tandem of defensive backs. And it looks like it's going to be 2nd down and short. About a yard. 5:16 to go in the 4th. A 9-yard pickup for Taylor. Gladiators 41, Tampa Bay 37. Taylor has 8 catches for 95 yards in the game, leads all Gladiators with 95 yards. He has 2 receiving touchdowns. 3 receivers left side. Austin takes a look long up the left side for Taylor, and it's off his outstretched right hand and incomplete. The good thing for the Gladiators there, Colin Taylor was the only one in the building who had a chance to reel that one in.
A lot of contact down the field from Al Phillips.
They let it go.
They did let it go, and part of the reason I think Colin Taylor had to go up for one with one hand rather is because I think Al Phillips had a hold of his opposite arm. Certainly at the end of this play, it's difficult for him to get it around. Now, take a look at the second time around. Maybe it's a good no call.
4:15 left, 4th quarter, 3rd down and 1. And now we've got a whistle, and the play's not going to take off. Gladiators called a timeout before the play took off. So with 4:11 left in the 4th quarter, and the Gladiators up by 4. Steve Tunn and company will regroup, get everybody on the same page. Kenny Rhoda is down in the field where both teams are trying to get on the same page here and regroup. Kenny, what's it like down there?
Yeah, a couple of the Tampa Bay players trying to listen in to Steve Tunn here to see what this call is going to be on 3rd and 1. Guys, smart time out there. Remember in the first half when they fumbled the football? Game clock was, or I should say play clock was winding down. Tried to hurry the snap, fumbled the football. Smart call by head coach Steve Tunn to calm everybody down, get everybody in the huddle, and decide what they want to do here.
Good point there made by Kenny. You don't want to rush things. You're in a situation where you're in the driver's seat right now. No reason to get carried away and do something you don't want to do. So the Gladiators up 4. The Gladiators be away for quite some time. The next Gladiators home game, July 18th, when they welcome in Orlando for a 6 o'clock kickoff. And that's the night 38 Special will be in the house, playing a post-game concert. Then the Gladiators play their last 3 regular season games. July 18th, August 1st, August 8th. At home as the ball is taken off to the far side. And Shane Austin running for what should be a first down. It looks like it will be enough for the first down. 3:57 to go here in the fourth. Gladiators by 4, 41-37. Steve Tunn and Shane Austin talking about what to do next, but Shane Austin, gutsy play once again, taking off and putting his body on the line for a first down.
And happy to let the clock just keep ticking down. You get a touchdown here, you're going to feel really, really good about being able to possibly close this thing out.
Two receivers right side as Austin drops back, throws end zone wide open. Corey Payne has it. Touchdown, Gladiators. 2 touchdowns in the game for Payne.
It amazes me the ability of these players to be able to catch the football knowing they're going to run into the wall, and Corey Payne comes up with a terrific play. Great throw from Shane Austin, but right up against the back board there in the back of the end zone, he comes up with the catch, and that's what the doctor ordered. You got to get a touchdown, and they did it, and they took a ton of time off the clock.
A very effective drive for the Gladiators, and now they're up 10 once again. Trevino on for the extra point try. Deeker gets the ball down, and the kick is good. 2:36 to go, fourth quarter. Gladiators by 11. We'll step aside. We'll come back, and the Gladiators will kick it off. It's Gladiators football, presented by Unique Home Solutions, right here on the Gladiators Football Network. Welcome back. 2:36 to go here in the fourth. Gladiators by 11, 48-37. As Tampa Bay is in desperation time now. The Gladiators defense has done a nice job all evening long, and for the Gladiators defensively, just keep an eye out on Tampa Bay when they're trying to make that big play, and everything will be okay. The last Tampa Bay drive was a one-play drive. That's where they've had their most success tonight, is looking for those big plays. Gladiators trying to close out a 3-game season sweep at the Tampa Bay Storm. They just closed out a 3-game season sweep of New Orleans last week on the road. So second game in a row, which the Gladiators are trying to get that 3-game sweep of a conference opponent. Kickoff taken off the netting. Out comes Kendrick Ings on the return for Tampa Bay. Sneaks through across midfield and then taken into the boards by the kicker Trevino on the far side. So Ings getting things started the way he needed to for the Tampa Bay Storm. They'll take over on the Gladiators' 20-yard line, 22-yard line, make that first down and 10.
You know, Kendrick Ings made some really great plays tonight, not only as a wide receiver, but he's had a couple of good plays on the kick coverage unit, and now again as a kickoff returner, allowing the offense to have a very good position to start this last drive. But they gotta hurry up quick. Tampa's got to go quick.
2:04 to go here in the fourth. Gladiators by 11. Boltis drops back, finds it open. Gregory on the near side, and he'll be ripped down inside the 10-yard line. A first down for Tampa Bay. It'll be first down and goal. How about this one? Since Shane Austin started 3 of 9 throwing the ball, he's 18-25 for 199 yards and 6 touchdowns. Really settled in, as well as the whole Gladiators team really did after those first couple series.
You know, you and I were talking about it kind of between breaks. He looked a little uncomfortable, and then again, you talk about the stats there, the 8 in a row. He really settled down and looked really confident.
Boltis throws to the corner of the end zone, too high for Gregory and incomplete. Now we see Tampa Bay get down to the part of the field where things just haven't gone their way tonight. And Boltis, we've seen him do that a number of times, trying to find somebody in the back of the end zone from the red zone. Yeah. And the ball not only goes incomplete, but it goes out of play. 1:09 left here in the fourth. The Gladiators defensively, the red zone defense specifically, doing a heck of a job tonight for the Cleveland Gladiators. Boltis looks right. Ings stumbles as he catches the ball about halfway to the end zone. He'll have it inside the 5-yard line, and looks like a timeout called. And with that, we will step away. 56.5 seconds to go in the fourth. Gladiators up 48-37. And with that, we will step aside. Gladiators football presented by Unique Home Solutions, right here in the Gladiators Football Network. Tonight's game is brought to you by the Center for Orthopedics, your personal connection to advanced care. By Subway, discover how guacamole turns up the flavor on your sub all summer at Subway. By University Hospital's Elyria Medical Center. By ABC Equipment Rental and Sales, your Cleveland home for Kubota construction equipment. By NovaCare, the exclusive and official sports rehabilitation provider of the Cleveland Gladiators. And by Unique Home Solutions, the presenting partner of your Cleveland Gladiators. Welcome back inside Quicken Loans Arena, where the Gladiators are trying to close out their 8th win of the year. 56.5 seconds on the clock, fourth quarter. Gladiators up 48-37 in this one, 10,123 on hand tonight, rooting on the Gladiators, who are trying to improve to 8-5 on the campaign, trying to drop Tampa Bay to 5-7 on the season. Trying to sweep Tampa Bay. Third meeting of the year between these two teams. Tampa Bay, 3rd and goal from the Gladiators' 4-yard line. It's a must score as soon as possible situation for them. Boltis takes a look. He scrambles and has to dump it away. It's going to be 4th and goal again.
And you're going to have an injured Tampa Bay.
There's a man down.
Player down. Looks like it's Jerry Moreland, one of their big offensive linemen.
Well, Lawrence Samuels has to be scratching his head because they've had no answer for the Gladiators' red zone defense tonight.
No, it seems like every time the ball gets inside the 5-yard line, the Gladiators seem to be thriving. They are embracing the opportunity with their backs against the wall to come out and make a couple of plays, and they've done it time and time again tonight.
Part of it is really an absolute unwillingness to run the ball on the part of Tampa Bay, unless it's their quarterback taking off on a broken play.
Yeah, it's odd. They've tried to do a couple of things to get the ball in space to Ings and T.T. Tolliver, but it's just there's nothing in terms of being able to run the football downhill from the running back position.
4th and goal for Tampa Bay. Boltis running out of time, throws, and a flag is down. Tampa Bay a little bit lucky there with that call.
Well, it's the right call. From my vantage point, I'll take another look at the replay.
Boltis is having a hard time.
Automatic first down.
Boltis had a tough time pulling himself to his feet there, it looked like, and now it's going to be 1st and goal from the 2.
It may be a little bit of a ticky-tack call. My initial read looking at it was going to be the right call, but the problem is that Gregory's body, right when the football is delivered, you have Shaw coming from behind, and he's able to turn Gregory's back, and they look for that, and that's all you're going to get, and you're going to get the call every time.
2 receivers left side. 1st and goal from the 2-yard line for Tampa Bay with 47.8 on the clock here in the 4th. And both teams get everything sorted out. Looks like we'll have 52.4 on the clock. Tampa Bay knows they need to score as soon as possible. 3 receivers to the left. Boltis drops back and throws for T.T. Tolliver at the edge of the end zone right on the goal line, and they're going to rule that he's in for a Tampa Bay touchdown.
He catches the ball. His momentum actually pulls himself out of the end zone, but where the ball was caught, I believe it was across the goal line in the end zone.
Goal line with the ball, touchdown.
So it's a Tampa Bay touchdown. It's going to be 48-43. And the offense will remain on the field. So you can really predict how the sequence of events is going to go now. You know, over on the Gladiators bench, they probably have guys already preparing for the onside kick unit to get out on the field.
And what's interesting about how this is going to play out is Tampa Bay has all 3 of their timeouts remaining. So Gladiators can't be conservative. It's not like they can just go out and kneel on the ball and run it, get the heck out of Dodge here. No, they've got to go out here and try and get first downs. Really, they should have a mindset of trying to score.
Two receivers left side. Boltis, his unit going for two, throws end zone off the hands of Gregory and incomplete. And now Lawrence Samuels arguing that Gregory was interfered with and that his team should get another try. There's a conference with our on-field officiating crew now. For the moment, the Gladiators have gone out of this by stopping the two-point conversion try. They may be pleading for fan interference. I think there may have been a fan that knocked the ball out of Gregory's hands.
I think that's what they're trying to get here.
And when you look at the replay, it's hard to dispute the Tampa Bay players' claims if that's the case.
I think it's a fair claim from Tampa Bay because there is a Gladiators. I'm not sure if they're Gladiators or Tampa. I assume they're Gladiators fans trying to catch themselves a football down there.
There's fan interference. We'll replay the try.
All right. So Tampa Bay gets new life on this one. 46.7 seconds left, fourth quarter. And again, the ball was in Gregory's hands.
Challenging the ruling on the field of fan interference.
And so Coach Tunn's going to send the officials back to take a closer look and try and review this thing. I don't know that there's a great argument to say that they didn't interfere with Gregory's attempt at trying to catch it.
And you know, the motive wasn't, I'm going to pop the ball out of Julius Gregory's hands. The motive was, I'm going to try and catch this so I can take it home, play with it in the yard. And
correct.
In the process, he wound up making a big defensive play for the Gladiators potentially. And I think Steve Tunn may be trying to say that, I mean, he really did have just his fingertips on the ball. Very reasonable claim from Tampa Bay, though, to be lobbying for another try at this two-point conversion.
He barely has his hands on the ball, but if you go back and look at the replay, I think it's going to be tough to overturn this, especially when you're not giving them points here. You're just allowing them another try.
It's not even a penalty. It's not even as if they're picking up a yard.
Exactly. They're getting nothing out of it except a retry.
And our officials doing their due diligence here to make sure they make the right call, and it seems as though they've seen all they need to see.
The call on the field of fan interference is confirmed. Two had the ball in his hands as a fan reaches over and knocks it out. We'll replay the try.
Now what's tough there is Gregory was going right up against that wall. Even if he has the ball in his hands, does he keep the ball through the impact of running into the wall? You never know, because it was knocked out of the hands by a fan in the front row.
Yeah, hard to say. All you have to do if you're Cleveland is go back to the huddle and say, hey, one more play. Do it again.
Tampa Bay certainly has struggled.
Yep.
Down near the end zone all night long. 46.7 on the clock here in the fourth. Gladiators by 5, and Tampa Bay trying to make it a field goals difference if they can convert here. Two receivers left side. Boltis throws over the middle, and this time it's completed to Gregory. A two-point conversion for Tampa Bay, and it's a 3-point Gladiators lead. So 46.7 on the clock here in the fourth. Folks, keep it locked here because we're shaping up for a photo finish. You can imagine there's Tampa Bay onside kick on the way. And as you mentioned, Dustin, the Gladiators have to play this thing out to win. They have to play it out to score. You can't really get into a situation where you're just trying to run it down. The Gladiators only have one timeout. Tampa Bay has all three. It's just a 3-point advantage. 46.7 seconds. And on the onside kick coverage, whenever the Gladiators are lined up against an opponent attempting an onside kick, it seems like the guy who always makes that big play, the smart play to knock it into the seats, is Dominic Goodman. He's obviously a key part of that hands unit for the Gladiators, and he's obviously not in the lineup tonight. So, well, another area where somebody else will have to step up.
It's going to have to be a guy like Colin Taylor or Amari Jackson. These will be the guys who will be the back return men right behind the first line of defense, which are the big guys.
And they're both out there.
Yeah.
Looks like they're going to be out there. Craig Peterson out of SUNY Cortland will kick it off. Kid O'Brien, Willie McGinnis, Jeremy Richardson, Anthony DeGreat, Dominic Jones, Amari Jackson, Colin Taylor.
Now the key thing here is, as a return man, if you can't recover it and it's bouncing, you'll want to knock it out of bounds.
Knock it into the seats.
Knock it into the seats, and then it's out of play, and you get you retain possession.
Here's the onside kick, a high bounce, a bouncing ball, and I think Tampa Bay's got it. And they have it cleanly. It's Storm football with 46.7 on the clock. The Gladiators up 3, and they need their defense to stand tall, and now some shoving over in front of the Gladiators bench. Now a dangerous situation for the Gladiators here.
Amari Jackson's got to be careful. He just took his helmet off on the field and threw it. Got to be careful for a penalty here.
You don't want to give Tampa Bay any extra assistance in a situation like this.
Obviously, Goody would help being out there, but that was an excellent kick by Tampa Bay because it didn't take the big hop that allows the return team to knock it out. It almost took like a mini kangaroo hop.
And it rolled a little bit.
Yeah. See, it takes the one hop, and then all of a sudden it hits a Tampa Bay player after it goes 10 yards.
Tampa Bay from their own 12 getting things started. The drive starts with a Boltus overthrow directed toward T.T. Tolliver. Incomplete into the Tampa Bay bench. 2nd and 10 now from their own 12. 42.3 on the clock, which in these last minutes can be an eternity sometimes.
Absolutely.
So the clock is not an issue for Tampa Bay right now. 2nd down and 10. Boltus is at 305 yards and 5 touchdowns on 20 of 35 passing. 2 receivers left side. Boltus throws for Gregory up the near sidelines. He'll reach out of bounds, maybe just enough for a first down. And looks like with 38.2 seconds on the clock here in the 4th, the Gladiators up 3. It is indeed enough for a Tampa Bay first down. Well, Tampa Bay pushing the Gladiators to the brink here in this one, and the Gladiators defense has stood tall at times tonight. Will have to stand tall again. 2 receivers right side. Boltus throws for Gregory. He's got it, but flags down, and the play won't continue.
Offside, 6, high motion man. That's a 10-yard penalty.
So Emery Salmons, the motion receiver, jumped the gun. That'll back up Tampa Bay a little bit. It'll remain first down. It's going to be 1st and 15. The receivers on for Tampa Bay are Gregory, Salmons, and Tolliver. No Kendrick Ings. These have been the main 3 receivers. Salmons and Ings have done some of the rotating tonight. 2 receivers right side. Boltus throws. Gregory the catch. He's smothered, and there won't be much there. He's going to lose yardage.
Yeah,
Make it right to the line of scrimmage at best.
Tampa Bay's going to have to burn one of their timeouts here because he's obviously inbounds and he gained positive yards.
Fred Shaw with a big defensive play once again, anticipating that one and taking Gregory down. 2nd and 16 from the 17 for Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has taken a timeout, so they have 2 remaining. The Gladiators have 1. 32.5 on the clock.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good tackle by Shaw. He comes up there, he keeps his head up, he doesn't use it as a spear. There was some helmet-to-helmet contact, but I don't think it was intentional in terms of trying to use his helmet as a weapon.
2 receivers left side, 2nd and 16. Boltus hit as he throws. It's going to be a floater, and we've got flags down, and you can see that one coming. Salmons was looking up for it. He took a hit from behind while the ball was still well in the air, and this is likely going to set Tampa Bay up for an automatic first down.
It's 2, defense, 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So Dominic Jones takes the penalty. It's an automatic first down on 2nd down and long.
That's a panic play from a defensive back with the ball floating up there in the air. It was a kind of a wounded duck type of throw, so it hangs up there forever. You know, Jones is trying to maintain his composure because he thinks he can go up and make a play. As the ball just hangs up in there, it's tough. I've been in those positions many times, and I've been called for pass interference in a lot of those occasions as well. It's tough to maintain your composure.
32.5 seconds to go in the fourth. Gladiators by 3, and now Tampa Bay 1st and 10 from the Gladiators 23. Boltis dropping back, throws over the middle, and it's broken up. A diving play made by Dominic Jones to knock that one away just before it got to Kendrick Ings.
And way to come back by Dominic Jones. A play after getting a big pass interference. For him to be able to come in here with his offhand and get right in front of Ings and knock that pass down, that is clinic quality. Put that on a coach's tape.
27.1 seconds to go here in the fourth. It's now 2nd and 10. Tampa Bay is at the 23 of the Gladiators. Gladiators trying to sweep Tampa Bay and get to 8-5. Tampa Bay trying to get to 500. Boltis, time, and he's run into and sacked. Randy Collin got to him. And boy, did Randy Collin come through in a hurry and plant Boltis back at the Tampa Bay 20-yard line. Looked for a moment there like Boltis was going to have time, then all of a sudden, shot out of a cannon was Randy Collin.
Boy, talk about a play.
I don't know if Boltis is going to be fit to stay in this game. He's taking some serious licks.
Yeah, he's limping after this play, but what a play by Randy Collin. Just out of nowhere, he just comes in and gets that sack. And now again, Tampa Bay's forced to use another timeout, and the clock is working against them here. 21 seconds to go, 3rd and 15. They got to worry about getting the first down and then trying to get the end zone.
And they do have time for it, 21.5 seconds. It's still not a situation where you have to be too concerned with the clock that's left if you're Tampa Bay. Both teams with one timeout remaining. Three-point Gladiators lead on 3rd and 15. Boltis for Salmons. He's got it to the sideboards and into the red zone. Go the Tampa Bay Storm. Dominic Jones on the stop. Didn't let Salmons get any further than he did, down to about the 8 or 9 yard line. But a substantial pickup for Tampa Bay, and now 16.7 seconds are left here in the fourth quarter. 1st and goal from the 8. So Tampa Bay struggled all night long in the red zone. The Gladiators defense has been very good all night in the red zone. They need to be very good one more time. The Gladiators came into this one tied for 4th in red zone defense. Looks like we'll have 2 receivers lined up to the left of Boltis. He drops back, pumps, and lets it go. That's broken up by Donnie Fletcher with 12.2 seconds left. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 8. I think Boltis' first option was better. He pumped, went to the side of the field where there were more defenders, and it didn't work out.
Like he wasn't confident in his initial read. Actually, we get a bird's eye view of it. I think his initial read was to try and get a hot route to his inside high motion man, but he actually runs into the outside receiver. So that's on the receivers. They run the wrong routes. That's why he had to go to his second option.
Gladiators, if they can hold on here, they'll have won 3 in a row, but they've got to hang on for 12.2 seconds. 2 receivers left side. Boltis on 2nd and goal, throws, and it's batted away, incomplete. Joe Finnessy got a hand on it. 3rd and goal from the 8, 8.4 seconds left here in the fourth. Gladiators by 3. We're at a point now where you can safely say, I think, that Tampa Bay has 2 chances.
Yep, 2 plays.
This is it. If the Gladiators stop them on these 2 chances, it's going to be a Gladiators win. Now we'll see something else that comes into play. If Tampa Bay can't score on this 3rd down and goal play,
do they kick a field goal?
Does Lawrence Samuels have that little confidence in his offense that he's going to just kick the field goal, then try to
amazing how that
take his chances in overtime?
One little play on that fan interference allowed them to get a second opportunity at that 2-point conversion, and now, well, we'll see how it finishes up. Maybe And the Gladiators could just end it here with an interception.
There's nobody who wants the Gladiators to get an interception more than the fans down in the front row.
No doubt.
2 receivers left side. Boltus drops back, throws, end zone. Gregory, and he's got it for a Tampa Bay touchdown with 2.5 seconds to go. The Storm has taken a 3-point lead. He held on and made a heck of a catch.
Well, look, the onside kick was the play of the game to this point to get the football back to Tampa Bay.
That's why Tampa Bay's even in the situation they're in. This drive started with 46.7 seconds on the clock. Peterson for the extra point try, and he's able to knock it through, so it's a 4-point game, and a field goal won't do it for the Gladiators if they were to get into field goal position.
They've got to score either with a kickoff return of some sorts, some magic.
Now there's a little dust up and a flag down around the Tampa Bay 20.
The miracle, the Frank Wycheck, Tennessee, back against the Buffalo Bills, where they were throwing the football across the field. I mean, you got probably one play, and I'm not. As you go back to what would be the play of the game here, this is Tampa Bay, the previous possession. They go for the onside kick, and it's a beautiful bounce. It bounces off of a Tampa Bay player, and there's really no chance for Cleveland to recover.
That penalty will be assessed.
The bounce off the Tampa Bay player
kickoff.
kept the ball in play.
It did.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against 19. That's the Tampa Bay kicker, Craig Peterson. So he got a little fired up there after he nailed the extra point. 2.5 seconds on the clock, fourth quarter. If you're Tampa Bay, you almost just need to put the kickoff in play.
Yep.
You don't want this thing to be one of those non-returnable kickoffs, because then the Gladiators would have a chance to throw a Hail Mary. You almost want to bounce it at the 5 or 10 yard line if you're Tampa Bay. You don't want to go in the end zone really either. Amari Jackson can take a knee, but time's going to start ticking away. So we'll see how they handle the kickoff here. Kenny Rhoda at field level, what's the mood?
Well, guys, listening to some of the players down here on the touchdown catch, some of the players here on the Gladiators bench thinking maybe there should be more time on the clock and would like the officials maybe to take a look at it, but I think that's going to fall on deaf ears.
Hey, let's go. So Tampa Bay getting set for the kickoff. We talked about it in the lead-in. The Gladiators this season 5-2 on the road, coming into this one 2-3 at home. And in danger of going to 2-4 at home. Tampa Bay trying to avoid a sweep at the hands of the Gladiators, who really overall played a very sound football game. You can point to a couple plays the Tampa Bay's made when they've had to that have put them in this situation they're in, and that's the onside kick, the 2-point conversion right before it, maybe a couple of timely touchdowns and big plays they've had in this game, but overall you had the feeling that the Gladiators really controlled this thing for about three quarters or so.
Yeah, they had it. I mean, they were right there. I mean,
so now
under a minute.
Peterson's going to kick a line drive, and the Gladiators are going to have to return this. And Amari Jackson has had a lot of success tonight. Up the near side, looks for some room.
Get rid of it.
Up, and he's taken into the boards. That's going to do it, and the Gladiators fall in the late stages tonight. Tampa Bay able to regain a lead in the waning seconds, and the Storm will march out of the queue. No, there may be a play. The Gladiators may have a play.
Oh, they're tacking on the penalty at the end of this.
So they're going to have to, because the penalty, the unsportsmanlike call against Tampa Bay, the Gladiators are going to have one play here. And the Tampa Bay defense is setting up. Kenny Rhoda, what's it like down there?
Guys, there'll be one play because of the unsportsmanlike penalty on the kicker from Tampa. And let's see if Shane Austin and Ty Lue maybe hook up here and bring back shades of last year.
Let's see if they can recapture some of that 2014 magic. 3 receivers left side, Gladiators on their last chance. Austin heaves it to the end zone, off the net, takes a bounce, and it's incomplete. Tampa Bay holds on for the victory. They'll march out of the queue with a 52-48 win over the Gladiators. A last-second win. Tampa Bay is 6-6. The Gladiators go to 7-6.
It's about as good as a throw you're going to make off the net. Right off the net, he really gets a good position there. Amari Jackson almost able to come up with that to win the game. What a comeback that would have been here in the final seconds of this one, but just a heartbreaking loss.
So the Gladiators had one last chance. They were not able to convert. Kenny Rhoda downstairs.
Guys, that was the designed play. I was on the bench during the kickoff. Ty Lue was saying, watch, we're going to try something off the net. That was the designed play there. Wherever they got the ball, they were going to throw it off the net, look for the rebound, and try and come up with the catch in the end zone for the win. Unfortunately, it falls to the ground, and the Gladiators fall to the Storm.
The Gladiators have had success in that situation, throwing one off the net for a Hail Mary. It's happened before. We've seen it happen before. That time just inches away from putting the Gladiators back out in front, winning this football game. But tonight they fall short, and this playoff race in the American Conference becomes even more interesting. We're going to take a look at it as the Gladiators fall by 4 to Tampa Bay tonight here at the Q. The Gladiators 7-6, Tampa Bay 6-6. They're now tied with Jacksonville down in the Southern Division. The Gladiators are 7-6. Orlando is the second-place team at 7-5. Philadelphia 10-2. The Gladiators still in a good position, even with this loss tonight.
Look, we talked about it in the open. It's always difficult to beat a team 3 times in 1 year, and it was going to be a difficult challenge tonight. It was. It came to bite them in the end, and you got to tip your hat off to Tampa Bay. They kept fighting and clawing because they were down, and they had to find a way to get an onside kick to win this ball game. They did. They go down, they score. Again, great ball game overall. Tough loss here at home. Good news is you get to come back and do it again.
Get to do it again. The Gladiators fall tonight by 4. Stay tuned for more post-game on radio. We said 50 points might be the magic number. Tampa Bay first to 50, and they get the win. Folks, that'll do it for us from here. I want to thank our outstanding crew, all of you, for tuning in tonight. On behalf of the crew, Kenny Rhoda, Dustin Fox, I'm Doug Plagans. Thanks very much for tuning in tonight. Tampa Bay 52, Cleveland 48. That is your final. Thank you very much. Good night, everybody.